everybody, and welcome in. It's Dr. High and Hippie hanging out, getting high, having a great time. We already got two people here, Dr. High. Holy shit. Were we here before? Good morning, buddy. You look good. You got your hair cut. You're looking very handsome today. Oh, frozen already. Here we go. Freezing up already.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Good morning,
How's
everybody.
everybody doing?
Thank you so much for
Morning,
being
Lori.
here. I love you guys, but you're all coming up except for Lori has come up as a Facebook user. So good morning to you all. We don't have any clue who you are.
Lots of hearts this morning.
Yeah, so that's probably
Always
somebody
nice to get
nice.
the hearts on in the morning, right?
Yeah, that's probably somebody nice.
Happy Monday.
It's Kelly.
Hello, Kelly.
Good morning, Kelly, Facebook user.
I want to hear about the drops. I want to hear
about a lot of stuff. Look at that. We are kicking ass. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here, little Jamie. Good morning. It's so good to see you. Jamie's a good friend of ours, but she just got a job. Well, not just. She's been there forever. But she just got put on full-time or much more hours. She works at Disney over in California. She's a costume character. Walks around like.
Oh, that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Oh, Lord, love the discipline. Nice.
Curtis, good to see you. Thank you for joining us.
You like smoking vape, right?
Yeah, she. All right. So I'm going to give you the rundown on that. So she bought those drops or whatever. First off, she felt as though it was, not enough for your money. I feel like she only got 2 real good highs out of it.
Okay.
And then, it wasn't. She was high, but she was like, she said she was very not exceptionally heavy high, I guess.
Yeah, not a.
Yeah, and she just said she felt like she definitely got a good buzz off of it. She said I might enjoy it. It definitely lasted longer, like you said, but overall she just gave it like a B, a C plus or something.
See, for you, it's not necessarily about that. It's about determining whether it works or not for you, whether it bypasses the issue that you have with regular edibles, right? So it's more of a test.
Liver and fat thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a test. I used to clean my grinder, and if I'm able to collect and smoke it, yeah, you can actually. I wouldn't use any kind of bong cleaner or anything like that. I would simply scrape the grinder.
A small little pin or something, and then just
or even one of those really like small screwdrivers, like a flathead screwdriver, but a really small one with a small head, and just scrape around, and you can smoke that because basically what you're finding inside of there is keef, or if it's been a long time since you cleaned it, it's actually almost hash if it's gone dark brown because
my goodness,
pressed and moved and pressed and moved and pressed and moved, and when you clean it off, it's going to be weird because it's actually going to shine. It comes off like shiny little flakes, like fish scales, if they're old enough like that. But yeah, you can do that. That's what I would say. Use something metal if you got a metal grinder, and just work your way around all those little posts.
Just scrape it off, shake it off, pack it, bang it around a little bit. You want it. That's all very good. If it's sticky, that's even better because then it's becoming hash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to interrupt and say is for the first time this last 2 days or so, I decided to roll my own joints, and I'm not one for grinders. I've never been one, and the ones that I have right now don't work particularly well. So especially with these type of buds, they just, I feel like they don't break them up the way they should. Anyway, I broke it up by finger. My God, my fingers were so sticky, and so I just rubbed my fingers together. First time ever. Usually I'd be like, what the hell is all this shit over my... This time I rolled it up, turned into little strings of, I would call it hash, finger hash, sir.
Yeah.
Laid it in that joint and smoked it away.
Yeah, I mean, not all grinders are created equal, right?
Oh, yeah.
You want to find a grinder that has fairly big holes in it for the material to fall down so you're not grinding it up tiny. Funnily enough, I have some very expensive grinders. I got grinders that are $100 plus each.
I have a
And they
friend
just,
who made me one. It's absolutely beautiful. He made it out of silver or out of something,
yep,
not pure silver, but out of lead, I guess, or whatever.
probably anodized aluminum.
Yes, that's the word. It's up
Yeah.
there. You can't quite reach it, but it's absolutely gorgeous. But you put it in, and it's just a pain in the ass. It doesn't. It won't grind right. I mean, he did
Well,
I love it. It's
this is
beautiful.
what we get to. The grinder that I use all the time was a $15 plastic grinder, but it's perfect.
Everybody tells me about these plastic
Well,
grinders that work so well.
you got to get the right ones, right?
Yeah,
Because stores in Bickle, the people who make Volcano and the Mighty and the Crafty, they include a grinder in the package, which is a good plastic grinder, but it doesn't work very well. The one that I have is from a company called Ooze, and it was
Ooze, I had that. I
yeah.
remember them. They were like fluorescent, right? They glow in the dark or something. They had a couple
Well,
of them at one point that glowed
Ooze
in the dark,
started. The first products I saw for them were vaporizers designed for concentrates.
and they do
Probably
now.
back
They
in
do.
around 2014.
They're
But
into
they were
silicone
doing
now, right?
well, yeah, they were doing like the silicone containers for your dabs and stuff like that. They had different sizes, different styles, but yeah, and that was their thing.
Yeah. I've
But
experienced some ooze
with a
or what they call
grinder,
them.
um, sometimes when a grinder stops to twist very well, a lot of grinders come with a Teflon ring because it gets sticky, right? So they put this little ring of Teflon around the top where the two pieces sandwich together so that you can always twist it, right? The trichrome don't make it sticky. But eventually that Teflon ring either comes loose or you get too much buildup of material around the top when you're trying to twist it, and that's when you need to clean.
Right. So this is the one my buddy made me.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful. He did a
Yeah.
great job.
Yep.
Beautiful design on the bottom.
Yeah, it looks like one of those
It's
what do they
bigger,
call them?
it's a bigger size one. It's like the size of my palm of my hand.
The bottom looks like a fossil. Like
Yeah.
those fossils you see, eh? Those
And I mean, he did everything appropriately. I mean, there's no,
I mean,
no keef area, but once you
for
and it,
homemade, that's fantastic.
and yeah, all out of metal. He forged us all, however he did it. But you hear it like it squeaks all the time.
It's because there's no Teflon there.
And it gets caught up in there a lot, and it
Yeah.
just drives me nuts. It pisses me off because I really love it and I want to use it all the time.
Yeah, that's why they come with a Teflon ring, right? So that doesn't happen. But eventually those rings will get loose and they'll come off. Yeah, the magnet in the center will get clogged. Just once again, just use a screwdriver and scrape off the top of that magnet so that it's clear again. Or if you don't care about keeping the material that's inside, you can use a Q-tip with some isopropyl alcohol and swab out the inside of your grinder.
Yeah, but I find that, I mean, now that I know, I never knew that, like, when we were kids, Dr. High, I used to get that sticky shit on my fingers all the time. And I would just, I'd be like, all right, here's the thing. Somebody else roll this. My fingers are filthy. And then I would clean it off and rub it off and get rid of it and throw it away. I probably threw away pounds of finger hash all my life and never even knew. Fuck
yeah, I used scissors for years. I just used scissors to cut up my weed forever. And then
I was always a finger breaker upper. I always had decent nails. See, I got pretty nails.
Well, it would depend on the weed, right? For me, because some weeds were just too sticky, right? So if you break them up by finger, you get these chunky, fluffy or nice. Like that.
Every time you tried to put the piece down, it would stick to your finger and pick it back up. You'd be like, "Son of a bitch, get the fuck off!"
Yeah, like the
I
old
love that new photo.
Hash plant.
There's a couple new photos, not new. I'm sure they've been around forever, but the one with the brick weed, have you seen it on Facebook yet? It's the block of weed, and it's like cut like a piece of cake, and it's our weed from back when we were kids.
It's all layers.
These don't know the struggle, And I'm like, yeah, they don't know. Another one, you get a little dime bag, and it's like 40 seeds. It's time to purge all the seeds and stems before you can get high, and you'd be record album.
We get it in. I used to see that in the industrial cans, like you get in food service. You know what I mean? You buy the big cans of ketchup or tomatoes or whatever they are, the real big ones.
Right, Curtis.
Yeah, we We used to see weed coming like that from Jamaica all the time.
Oh my
Pressed
God.
into those cans and sealed in.
I guess we called it brickweed because it was built like a fucking
brickweed,
brick.
weed,
Brickweed. It was just brick.
yeah, swag.
Solid brick, swag, yeah. The
You know?
homestone, dirt, whatever. But we liked it. We smoked it.
That's what we had access to. We didn't have a
that's
choice.
all we had. Yeah, it was that or the brown stuff that didn't taste good and didn't even know if it was real back then.
Oh, nice. Where did you get everything from, Mr. Slow?
Well, you know, on the down low.
You were able to find all that stuff there. That's fantastic.
Dr. High, a shady guy on the street.
No, I'm just glad. I'm glad that he's been able to find everything. That's great,
I told him to don't go delving into it. Let's start with just one cart and let's see what it's all about before we go crazy. Because you don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta check, right? Because if it's coming from an unregulated supply, then you have to be very vigilant in what you're getting, and there's no for sure thing on dosing, right? Mushrooms should be fairly safe because they're natural, and the dabs are kind of hard to screw with too much. You know what I mean? Like they can get screwed with, but not so likely. But vape pens and gummies, they can be good or not.
Right. And then the prices were a little strange to me, but because like the bag of gummies was like 40 pounds.
Okay, so that's about $50.
Right? No, backwards. $30. I think we're less than.
No, a pound is worth more than $1.
Oh, is it? Oh, $1.25 or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that and then the dabs originally he said were only 15, but I think he came back and was corrected and he misunderstood. They were 25 for a gram, and then the cart was 45 for the gram. And I was just like, that seems odd that the carts are more expensive than the dabs and the gummies are more expensive than everything. And I'm like, I don't know. Mr. Sky Daddy.
The carts being more expensive than the dabs makes sense to me because you have the cost of the dabs, you have the cost of the liquefier, and you have the cost of the cart itself. So that's logical.
He says it's all United States brand. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah, but the whole thing is right that it's not being shipped into the UK, so somebody there is making it
and putting USA on it.
Yeah, packaging is easy, right? You can buy
packaging anywhere that says USA on it.
Yeah, like you can have printed bags for 35 cents each. You know what I mean? Like you can get them really inexpensively. So that
me and Dr. High have come up with our own strain. We're gonna call it the hippie high hippie, the Dr. High hippie.
I tell you, if I was in the US, I would be in it. I would be in it. You know what I mean? I'd be manufacturing for sure. But here there's no point.
And I had any clue what the hell you're talking about, I would be in it.
Yeah.
But I have no clue. I'm lucky. Speaking of no clue, I did bring our plants in here that we're going to test this week. Look at them.
Okay.
I still think I'm growing a rhododendron.
You're not getting serrated leaves yet?
It's fucking weird, dude. It's not right. Something's not right.
Could be an odd genetically seed. Like it could be a seed that's weird too. You never know.
It was banana pudding time. I don't know. All I know is I found it. I found maybe they fucking put it in there as a joke, you know, and they're like, let's put a rhododendron seed in here and let this fucking idiot grow it.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any visual difference between a cannabis seed and a rhododendron seed, so I couldn't tell you.
I don't either. I'm just picking rhododendron because that's kind of what it looks like. So I brought them in here. I mean, we got to do a commercial. It might be sunflower. I don't know. It could be anything. It's not looking like weed, but I'm doing it. I'm working on it. All right, I got to do these commercials, and then we got to do a 420 song, and then I'll show them when we get back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High over here on WTHC Radio, live on Live 365 and tune in, and of course here on Facebook and YouTube. We want to thank everybody out there for being here. Good morning.
Okay, men, this is your time. Maybe you didn't choose this, but you're here now. You're going to go out there and be an all-star caregiver. It's up to you. So what are you going to do? You're going to go grocery shopping, cook, clean, be there emotionally and physically. You got to dig deeper. Drive them to physical therapy, doctor's appointments. Don't you forget about the pharmacy. No, you won't.
Good morning, Tina. Good morning, everybody.
That's what
Thank you so
caregivers
much
do.
for coming in and hanging out.
give
Please
up.
subscribe, share,
Don't ever
like, do
give
whatever
up.
you're supposed to do.
This is your time.
We really don't know what we're
Your
supposed to
family
do. We're both new at
and
this.
yourself.
We have about 100
It's
videos
tough,
now,
it's
but
tough.
we don't know what we're doing.
Now go out there.
No.
The views are getting there, though. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with the amount. They keep going up
Caregiving is tougher
more
than
and more
tough.
every
Find
week,
the care guides you need at
That's the way it'll be.
AARP/caregiving.
little by
This
little.
announcement brought
So
to you
now
by
I've had an overabundance of, let's call them women of the night, hitting me up, wanting to talk to me.
Oh,
So
yeah?
I lead them on. I'm like, they're like, hey, how are you? They don't, their first question isn't, the whole, hey, are you interested in getting your dick sucked or anything like that? It's more like, no, it's not like that. No, sometimes you get those. But these ones have been, hello, like instant messaging, like private messaging me.
Yeah.
And they write
And
hello. And I'm like, hello. And they're like, how are you?
What's
And
up?
I'm very vague with them. I'm like, good. And they're like, how old are you? And I'm like, let's cut to the chase here, bitch.
How much do you need?
I said, I'm 52 years old. I'm married with 2 kids. I own my own radio show. If you want to come on and talk about your legal dispensary, then come on. If not, get the fuck out of my life.
Yeah. No, because they're all the same, right? They're scammers, probably out of Nigeria or someplace.
Yeah, that's why I got such a big listening crowd in Cameroon. Now I found out, them fuckers.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me at all. Because really, all they're doing is looking for lonely men who they can suck into a little romance scam, right?
Your shower. Go to.
Well, I'm a
Oprah.org
sucker.
to get a
I got
free
sucker
ebook.
written right
Plus,
here.
Pay for
Yeah.
any
For a
shampoo
nice set of
and an
titties.
extra filter free.
Well,
Change
well,
your
I
world,
tell you,
change your
I
life.
tried to upload one of those AI images yesterday, the topless ones,
Stop
to
right there
DID.
before you get in trouble.
I was going to make you a little video,
Badger Heart
and
Puppetry.
it was going to be the gift from Dr. Hyde to you.
But you should have.
But
You couldn't figure it out.
Contact George
When I
at
tried to upload the image, it said it went against the community.
1535.
You're not allowed to do that, Dr. Hyde.
I took it into Canva and put a ribbon across, and then I was able to get it in. All you need to do is learn how
Should've
to
just
use
wrote
Canva.
the hippie across the, put the ribbon there and write the hippie on it. And send it
There we go.
Badger Heart
All right,
Puppetry.
we're supposed to do a 420 song, and I don't have one, so hold on. Here we go. Oh, no, this is going to get us in trouble. We're in trouble. This one's going to get cut out.
They cut it all out of mine anyway, I think. Everything.
Everything? They don't have
All
the
the
right.
music. Well, you have the right to the music, but I don't.
Right. Yeah, but you're on my show.
I don't care anymore.
It's only the music anyway. I mean, I want to play these people's music to be played. Usually it's my independent artist. This is just I just grabbed somebody because I was nervous about the 420. I had plenty of time to take my time, but I just grabbed it and started playing it. So now, fuck it, I'm not going to turn it off now.
There you go.
Can you all hear it right now? Then enjoy, because you'll never hear it again. No, you'll hear it later, but you're never going to hear it on the show again. Because they'll take it away, stupid Facebook.
Hello, Facebook user.
Happy waking and baking, everybody. Good morning. Thank you guys so much for being here. You guys are amazing.
We're ready to go this morning.
Uh-oh. Is that today's supply? You got a bag like that for every day of the week?
And a couple of these beauties.
I've been baked.
That's Joe Biden sour diesel and some white rhino.
Good morning, everybody. If we don't call you out by name, it's only because you're coming up as a Facebook user. We want you to know that we love and appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know who Crazy Lori is.
Crazy Lori.
Well, I know it's not you there. I can't tell, but yes. I know when you said play my song, yes, I knew that's what you meant.
The doctor, my little commercial.
Yes,
What,
Crazy Lori made me a commercial yesterday. Oh, my God. It's amazing.
We'll need to hear it.
Oh, we're going to play it next.
Nice. This is Crazy Lori coming at you. Morning, good morning. Yes, I think it will be a good breakfast.
All right, so we have a guest coming up on Wednesday, too, right? Is that still on?
I haven't heard back from him. I try to keep a good selection of carts on the go always.
Hi, Marie. 420 Safe Haven, everybody. Grab up Marie over there if you can see her and join her group. It's fantastic.
Have I joined it?
You were looking at it the other day, but I don't know if you ever got to it. I'm
Hey,
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Got
You're gonna have to
phone.
write that every time because it comes up once, but I'm not gonna remember when it comes up in 10 minutes. It says Facebook user.
Morning, Fableland. Watch, they're waiting on him. Who's waiting on him? The Facebook police? I'm in Canada. It's legal here.
Oh, you're on Mom's phone. That's why. JJ stole yours. Well, I want to thank you guys. Like I said, you guys are amazing. We really appreciate you being here.
We do.
People. I'm waiting on people.
This is Crazy Lori, and you're listening to WTHC with the Trippy Hippie and Dr. High. Don't panic, y'all. It's organic.
WTHC. Good morning. Thank you, Lori. It's organic. Dr. High and I are hanging out. I'm not that trippy though. I'm more of a stoner than a trippy. I mean, I used to be very trippy. Anyway,
we'll get you trippy as soon as we find you a good supply of the.
Speaking of that, we got to talk. Mrs. Hippie's been reading again.
Okay.
Uh-oh. You know what that means. Bad news.
Why?
Right, so, because I supposedly have bipolar disorder.
Okay.
And she's reading things that are saying that because of mushrooms that they could lead to a mania. And manias are bad for me. I don't do well with manias.
Well,
but I'm not bipolar anyway. I refuse to accept that.
Have a great day at work. Thanks for spending some time with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. We don't know who you are, but
and
good job,
stay cool. Drink lots of water.
Yeah. Stay hydrated.
Have a little puff.
Ooh.
It's always fun in the sun. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll have to find out more about that, right? I'm not educated enough on that. On that topic.
I wasn't really very concerned about it, but she seems to be concerned that we need to look into that. I'm like, what? No, it's fine. Plants before pills.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, we'll figure that out when it comes.
Yeah, no doubt.
Just won't tell her, and I'll just start taking them, and we'll see how I do.
There you go. It's gonna be hard to get them without her knowing. The first step of knowing you have bipolar is getting upset at being bipolar.
Well, I've been bipolar for like 15 years, and I refuse to accept it. So,
it's normally a lifelong thing, no?
I'm still bipolar.
And
no, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean,
isn't bipolar what they used to call manic depressive?
Yeah, same. But you can get manias and depressive. You can go
Right.
really high or you can go really
I
low.
really would go low. Yeah, that's it.
And I fluctuate between both
Huh.
periodically. Like,
Interesting.
yeah, I'm not bipolar. I disagree with their diagnosis. I'm crazy, not
Just
not
just plain crazy.
right, not bipolar. Nothing
That's-
against anybody who is bipolar. I don't want it. I've refused to
No.
accept it. So I take medicine for it. I guess I'm bipolar. I don't know. Anyway, Dr. High, let's get off that subject. I don't want to talk about my crazy. Nobody needs to know anything more about my crazy.
No.
All right. Anyway, so I got 3 samples I need to show you.
Okay.
First, I need to take a sip of my coffee and get it the hell out of the way so I don't knock it over. All right. Sample number 1 is not doing very well.
Oh, no, I'd say that's not doing well at all.
All right. Now, this one was planted at the exact same time, same day as sample number 2.
Big difference.
Yes, very big difference.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned, but remember I said sample 1. One of them, the seed was barely out of the little thing, a little tiny little pee-pee sticking out of it. It might take a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm not giving up on them. I'm still giving them love. I kiss them every morning.
And how's your original? Your first one?
This is the weird one. This is the armadillo of the bunch. I don't know what we call this, but
that is not cannabis. That is bizarre. What's the next set of leaves look like? Are they rounded the same way?
There was some brown. It's hard to see in here. It's dark.
Yeah, it gets too blurry for me to actually see the structure, but I can see that those do not
see
look
these
like
top
cannabis.
ones. These top ones right here, they're all starting to get little prickly things on the sides now. Like they're starting to get. I don't know if I can get close.
Yeah, now that's unusual, but well, let's see what happens. I've not seen that before. I hesitate to say that's not.
See the little ones down there they look different colored.
Yeah,
those 2 they like brown. So I moved my light up. I figured maybe my light was a little too high. I mean, too close. So I moved it up a little bit. And then, and now there's a sprout coming out in the top, in the middle right there.
Yeah.
And then there's more leaves coming out down there on the bottom, and they look a little more pointy.
Are those leaves the same shape? Or because to be honest with you, I've seen the first 2 leaf sets have that appearance, but never beyond that. So,
well, the next 2 seem like they were gonna be round, but they browned and they look like they're gonna fall off. Like they both look like they're gonna die. Those 2, but then there's more coming up out of the ground now, and then there's sprouts coming out from the sides where the other see the little sprouts coming out.
Very strange.
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. I might have.
If that turns out to be cannabis, I'll be surprised.
Well, what else is it going to be?
I don't know.
Cannabis seed. The only thing that I did, and
but that's one you found from the bag, right? That was the bag seed, no?
No, that was that's the one I got from the dispensary.
Right.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one that I got. The banana pudding time. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
So so I got it from the dispensary. It came out of the dispensary container, like I said. Now they might have been pulling a fast one and said, we're going to throw a fake seed in here.
Not likely.
I highly doubt it. Right. But going on from there, the only thing that I did that was may have concerned me was the fact that the soil I used was from the bottom of a plant that my son had pulled out of the ground. Like he brought a potted plant home, a very large potted plant home, and he tried to save it. It was on its way out. It was dying at the nursery. He works at a nursery, and they were like, throw this one away. He said, no, I'm going to bring it home, try to save it. They were like, go for it. He brought it home. He tried to save it. It didn't go well.
No.
So he pulled it out of the ground and he started shaking the soil out and shook all the soil out of the roots, and it all fell back into the hole where he had it buried. And I said, you know what? That's probably pretty decent soil. Go grab a little bit of that soil. We'll use that soil to start this plant. And
now you got a dandelion.
And now I might have a dandelion. I don't know what I got going on here.
Dandelions are extremely healthy.
For people who like to eat dandelions.
Hey, the bitters, the leaves from that and the root are so good for your body, for your heart, for a lot of things. And they grow wild in your yard, but nobody utilizes them for the benefits. Like you can put them in your salad, the leaves, all kind of stuff. It's very, very good for you. So
it's an alien, right? It's an alien. I don't know. We're gonna grow it. We're gonna smoke it.
Maybe
it turns out to be. If it turns out to be an oak tree, we're smoking it.
Yeah, and it probably is something from the soil.
If I fucking take my time to grow this fucker, we're smoking it. We're gonna find out what it tastes like. Yeah, it'll be a new strain. If we get high off of it, even better.
See, because sample number 2 looks correct.
Yeah, sample 2, he looks a little tall and skinny, but
he is. But you want to bring the light a bit closer.
Yeah, well, I moved the light up because of the other one burning those 2 leaves, and then now this one.
It's very unlikely that the light that you're using, that's a countertop light for like kitchen herbs and stuff, very unlikely that it would burn the plant. They're just not that intense.
Well, do plant leaves usually fall off after the first couple?
The first 2 usually do, yeah. The initial ones that come up,
those are the first 2, those big fuckers.
Yeah. But that's plant is not what you think.
But I told you I touched the top of this when it was smaller, and the seed came right off the top, and I ate it. Remember?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
the seed was wrapped around it. The seed was like wrapped around it and open, and there was nothing in the seed.
Well, it was just what was left of the husk of the seed from when that.
Right, but it was on the top of on the very top of the plant. I was like, why is this dirt here? And then I went to go touch the dirt off of it, and it was the seed shell. And I pulled it off of it. And
either you've got a very unique strain there that I've never seen before, or it's not what you think it is. I don't know which it's going to be, but.
You think it has a smell yet?
No.
No, it smells like dirt.
No, yeah, it won't. There'll be no smell now.
No, now I have to keep growing it, right? I mean, we have to find out.
Well, I mean, keep it going. What's the harm? You got nothing to lose, right? Except for
it could be grass. I could be growing a lawn here. I'm not trying to grow sod.
You never know. Why is this trying to do this right now?
Because it likes to mess with us.
No, I'm just for some reason, my computer's trying to open an audio file, and there's no reason for it to do that.
Yeah. So we got 16 fantastic people up in there hanging out. Everybody's got questions.
Who's got questions? Let's have some questions.
Dr. High, I told her my wife does that show. I don't know if you've caught it yet. The Perfect Positivity show on Sunday nights. They make their people go home and do homework. I think we need to make them do homework. We say, all right, everybody, you got to go do homework. Look, I said 16, and they were like, oh, look, he noticed us. Let's get out of here. There's only 12 now. But they're going to have to do homework. Oh, another one, 11. Homework, 10. Oh, I better stop saying that. Make them come in with 2 questions each tomorrow.
That's because we asked the questions. Pull some up from ChatGPT. That's what it's perfect for. Have it design a list of questions we can talk about when the people don't have.
Yes. Except for
works very well for this sort of thing.
I'm a fucking puppet.
And I should be able to keep up with it. Shouldn't be able to stump me over there, but you never know. You never know. So, new blog post out this morning. Potential benefits of cannabis. So, you can head on to drhigh.com and check out that new post or the new blog post. It's a pretty interesting one. Full with beautiful art, as always. So, that's good. So, Robert, let's know more about your experience with what you have. Send us some photos.
Yeah, we're gonna talk to him about that for sure because
Is that Lori with the migraine?
yeah, you know what? I come to find out that she's
hear
waiting
that.
on new glasses, and once her new glasses get here, I guarantee her migraines are gonna cut in half.
Yeah, eye strain is a really quick way.
Yeah.
Really quick way to get into that situation.
So I just looked. There's only one story. I deleted it. It's not even worth keeping.
Yeah,
It was about a woman. Her son is smoking weed. Her daughter is being very promiscuous. Her son is the only one that's wrong in that situation because he's smoking weed and the daughter. And I didn't. And there was no real story. It was just like that was the quote.
And you know the scary thing is that STDs are on the rise. You know what I mean? Like it was under control for a long time, but it seems the younger generation is a little more promiscuous than even we were. And the thing is that there's actually more danger, I think, in promiscuity than there is in cannabis consumption.
Well, you know what? And no, I'm not even going to go there. Forget it. I'm not even going to go there. You know, the kids these days are just trying newer and different things, and so there's a lot more interaction, we'll call it,
yes,
amongst everybody.
Rainbow parties I've heard about.
Yeah, stuff like that, you know, but whatever, to each his own.
Yeah.
You know,
actually, no, it's kind of cool. I don't remember their name, but they went to go see Pantera and Metallica in New York the other day.
Oh, Gigi.
Last week, yeah.
Yeah, Gigi.
So my son calls me on Friday or Saturday. And I'm like, so what are you doing? He said, I'm heading down to the Olympic Stadium. And I said, Olympic Stadium, what's going on there? He said, I'm going to see Metallica and Pantera tonight. So, yeah, he went to the show on the weekend. Said it was fantastic.
Very cool. I'm so jealous.
Is
Metallica playing their old Metallica, or are they playing this glam stuff? Or I heard they came back with a new album and it's pretty fucking good, hardcore, back to like old Metallica style. I have one or two of their songs, but you know, I heard they went, you know, after they stopped. I heard they, you know, they started going, you know, a little softer, not in a bad way, but you know, trying to stay with the times, you know, and that's why they're still around and still touring because they're one of the bands that were able to keep up with the change of people's attitudes on music, you know, like the grunge stage, they did whatever they had to do to keep themselves going through whatever the hell stage you call this crap. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, like people evolve, right? So obviously the music evolves too, but these guys who write and produce songs, it still comes from them. So it always kind of has the same personality, but music becomes of different relevance as time changes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I was kind of blown away. This is a 50-year anniversary of hip hop. Yeah, like I didn't realize that hip hop had been around for 50 years.
Oh yeah.
Kind of mind blowing to me, you know? Like I know it's been around in the 90s.
I remember it in the 80s. I remember we had a radio station. I don't remember which one.
Good morning, King Solomon.
Good morning, King Solomon. How are you?
Can you identify Hippie's plant?
Can you identify my weed?
Yeah, can you give us a visual ID on what Hippie's got going on in the red cup? Because being a seed guy, you may recognize this much better than I. But
all right,
I'm hesitant.
It's not the best view because of this camera situation here, but I'm going to do my best. Oh, identify this, please.
Lettuce. It's lettuce.
Oh my God, it's lettuce.
And not the devil's lettuce, just regular lettuce.
But the leaves are starting to get little prickly things on the ends. Like I said, they're starting to get little pointy points, like a pot leaf, you know. But maybe they're just going to grow bigger and get longer.
I've seen some plants that are just weird. You know what I mean? Like even amongst a bunch of seeds, they're just weird. You know what I mean? Some plants, seeds
that means that I have the one. It's the seed that everybody's been looking for. I found it. Woohoo!
Well, maybe that strain was crossed with a banana tree. Maybe that's how it
Maybe.
got its name.
Banana pudding time.
Yeah, it
Yes.
could have been crossed between a banana tree and a cannabis plant.
I don't know. We were just talking about it.
Solomon. We're stumped too. Hey, where are you located, my friend? Are you in the United States, or are you in Canada? Or are you in Europe or South America? Where are you located?
I don't know. I found it in my container of my medical marijuana, and I said, "Let me plant this," and this is what's come so far.
Which is really strange. But most likely what it is that soil that you use had something else in it. And that is a much more rapid developing plant, perhaps. And it maybe choked out the other one, Pensacola. And do you distribute throughout the U.S.? Do you have a catalog?
Yeah, I'm looking for seeds because obviously I'm growing a banana plant here.
Well, I think a lot of our listeners would be interested in finding a decent business that can.
My Discord is constantly asking, where can we get seeds?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're all about promoting. You know what I mean? We're all about promoting the people here that are legitimate about what they're doing, and you know, it's important that we work together as a community to make sure everybody has access to quality genetics, number one, and reliable individuals, number two, because we all know that Facebook sometimes is a bit shady.
We were talking about that earlier, about all my new friends that have been hitting me up, telling me about their Xanax, I guess. What are those bars and shit? I'm like, I don't want your Xanax, man.
Herbies, USA Express. I'm not familiar with USA Express herbies.
Herpes. I got herpes once. It was back in the day.
I think when you get it, you never get rid of it, no?
Yeah, it comes back on my lip all the time.
Isn't that a gift for life?
It's a gift for life, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura, you bitch.
Spain has an excellent cannabis culture. My father-in-law worked in Spain for
Jolene.
There you go. That's a great song. I heard Miley Cyrus do a version of that.
It's fantastic. I play it all the time.
Yeah, very, very good. Miley Cyrus is good at these sort of things.
Well, that's her aunt, right? I think that's her aunt, Dolly.
Oh, it could be.
I think that because, I don't know, down there they do a lot of stuff that I don't want to.
I've seen her perform with Billy Idol.
I heard she's trying to come back and be normal again. That would be wonderful.
Well, what's abnormal about her?
I don't know. She was going a little crazy with wrecking balls and stuff, I guess the people were saying, and she was losing her mind.
Young and rich.
Yeah. I agree. I'm not saying anything.
It's just the way it is, right? I mean, the fact that these people don't kill themselves
Madrid
surprises me sometimes.
I can't read Spanish. What is that? España,
yeah.
Is where we are based, but we are growing here in the United States.
Very nice.
We would love to have you come up and have a show with you and talk to you about your stuff.
Yeah, my wife's dad has been in construction all his life. And for about 15 years, he was doing construction overseas. So when they had the big earthquake in Kobe, Japan, he went to Japan for, I don't even know how many years, 5 years, 6 years, and built residential homes over there. And then once they had done rebuilding there, he went to Spain and spent quite a few years in Spain. And he's a cannabis user. So my father-in-law is in his early 70s and still loves to get high. He's been doing it all his life. And he said that in Spain, it was phenomenal because they have the best hash in Spain because it comes right across that little strait there from Morocco or I think it might be Morocco, just underneath them.
Absolutely, King Solomon. Hit private message me or whatever, and we'll set it up. I mean, whenever you're ready, we have a bunch of open dates coming up. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you can come right on with us. You can talk about your business. You can talk about your genetics. You can show us pictures. You can show us live plants, whatever you got going on, and we'll help
smoke.
We'll help spread.
Yeah, spread the gospel.
Yeah.
You said something that made me want to say something, but now I forgot.
Hash in Spain.
Oh yes, Jorge Cervantes, my good friend Jorge. He moved to Spain to live there because of the better quality of, and I guess the better ease of being able to take care of what he needed to take care of.
That's where raw comes from.
Do the research that he needed to do.
I mean, the probably the biggest brand of rolling papers on the planet, Raw.
Oh yeah,
they're buddy. Spanish. They're from Spain.
I call him my buddy because he doesn't even know who the fuck I am, but I want him to be my buddy.
Have a look into
raw
that
every day. The hippie smokes raw papers every day. Just shouting that out there for you, buddy.
I was a zigzag white guy for a long time.
I'll tell you, my favorite. No offense, Raw. I love you, but if Randy's hit me up, I'd be all over him. I fucking love the Randys, man. With the
Randy's papers,
the metal wire. I didn't like their. I like the fact that you had the instant roach clip in those fuckers, and
with the wire
burned your fingers. That was awesome. Yeah. But besides that, no, you know, they say like the whiter the paper is after you smoke it, the whiter your ash is, the more chemicals that are in your paper.
The whiter the ash, the better.
Or vice versa, maybe. It could be. Yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
the whiter the ash is better.
The reason that white ash is important is because it shows that the plant has gone through a proper flush at the end of the growing cycle. For the last 2 weeks of your
eggs.
For the last 2 weeks of your grow before your harvest, you should feed no nutrients for the last 2 weeks. It should just be water. Right. Only water, because the idea is to get all that nutrient that's in the soil and that's still within the plant itself out. You know what I mean? All those metals and all that stuff, that's part of it. I mean, magnesium and
the iron, the stuff that Lori was worried about when we were talking about her dirty water. Those are the things that we want to get out at the end. You might need to go buy some. What kind of water could she buy? Regular, just drinking tap water, like Poland Spring or something?
Yep.
At the end, because she's not going to want to use her water to flush it out. Obviously, she's got a bad water. She said it's already filled, so you're not going to use that water to flush it out. So you might want to buy a couple gallons of that.
Those big 5 gallons that you buy for your water.
And then flush your plant out.
Yeah, or you could use a Brita. I mean, you could use a Brita. And use a Brita filter, and then
you could own your own water. You could own your own water. My sponsor, ownyourwater.net.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we got to do a. Speaking of ownyourwater.net, we got to do a commercial.
There we go.
They're up on the list. So here you go.
We'll come back and I'll tell you a funny story about zigzags.
Absolutely, I love funny stories about zigzags.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic Health Water has certified medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water, including healthy alkaline. There's a 5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate.
Is that a link,
slang.
King Solomon?
Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying,
"Can I just call you
that's
King?"
Rad. It simply means that something is awesome.
My liege.
Another one is totes. It's
exactly
my
liege.
Like saying,
I'll call you my
totally,
liege.
Just shorter. As in,
my liege.
I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might
I'll click on it later
jelly.
After the show. I can't
jelly
click
is
on
a shorter,
it
better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so.
I want to thank everybody for being here. Everybody who stopped in, you guys are amazing. Please make sure you have questions. We have all the answers. He does.
Rad.
I kind of just look here and look
To
good.
learn more, visit.
And what we don't know, we'll make it up.
Right, we'll ask ChatGPT. They'll tell us.
Health and Human Services, Adopt US Kids, and the Ad Council.
It would have to be pretty technical for me not to at least have an idea.
This is the story of a very special
Right.
woman.
Boy, that's a
In
long
words,
fucking leap.
She turned herself into a great mathematician.
It's an
or
important link.
entrepreneur.
Kirby's
Her
head shot.
knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear.
See, that's what we
especially
want.
those
We want
that
to
lurked in the
talk
shadows
to
under
people
the
who can
bed.
actually provide
Right.
us with.
I'm
This
so
woman
sick and
put back
tired of all
together
these
a
other
teenage girl's broken
friends
heart,
of mine
which had
who
been
do their
shattered
job
in
and do a great
1,000
job
pieces
on the side
just by giving
behind
her
the
their heart.
behind the walls of
She
the law.
masqueraded as a
But
regular
I can't
person
help
at
you
work.
guys because
But
you
as
got
a
I got to do this
superhero
the
at
right
home.
way. So
Everyone knows her as Gabrielle.
King Solomon Seeds
I still
is
call
my
her
new
Mom.
favorite brand of seeds right now. 'Cause I don't
Your
have any other
hero needs you
friends.
now, and
Oh no, you know this
AARP is
dude.
here to help.
This is going pretty
Find
well.
the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources
He's a
at
fresh little baby. but-
aarp.org/caregiving.
A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey, Mississippi, why don't we take a ride to Dauphin, PA today?
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's Badass Crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Bella's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook, but you can also find them on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
They are badass.
I just want to give a huge shout out to Chuck over at Collins Painting LTD. You can find him over on Facebook. They're in Ellensville, New York. Wow, what a great team over there. Really amazing and always supporting us here over at WTHC.
When it's cold or when it's hot, you know we smoke lots of pot every single day, every single day. If you're ever in need, you know we smoke lots of weed every single day, every single day. Well, I know it seems like all I ever talk about is smoking weed, but I know you like it too, and my bag don't have a seed, so I'm motivated singing songs and puffing lots of cannabis. I've been to Amsterdam a time or two, and hallelujah for it, Sheba double bubble gum and lots of cream Moroccan hash, purple power, yellow cab. I love the juicy fruity grass. If you want answers on the positives, specs of sticky green, just hang with me, and in one day we'll smoke more than you've ever seen. It's colder when it's hot, you know we smoke lots of pot every single day, every single day. If you're ever in need, you know we smoke lots of weed every single day, every single day. Puffing trees and singing songs, rolling blunts and packing bongs every single day, every single day. So if you plan on stopping by, you can plan on getting high every single day, every single day. And if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're lifted and you show it, clap your hands. Now we're all getting silly. I am goofy and I'm proud, making music that is funny, floating on a puffy cloud. How'd you like to be my friend? 'Cause there is no stress involved. If you're having trouble with somebody, leave them problem solved. I will smoke a hoot or poke a cooter, never be in misery, 'cause life is good and so is weed. I'm feeling great 'cause I am free. It's colder when it's hot, you know we smoke lots of pot every single day, every single day. If you're ever in need, you know we smoke lots of weed every single day, every single day. Puffing trees and singing songs, rolling blunts and packing bongs every single day, every single day. So if you plan on stopping by, you can plan on getting high every single day, every single day.
WTHC. Good morning, everybody. It's 10:53 over here on the East Coast. I want to give a big shout out to everybody out there on Live 365 and TuneIn, and of course, everybody over here hanging out with us today over here on Facebook and YouTube. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for stopping by. Please give us a like, a share, a click, or whatever the hell you're supposed to do. We don't know. That was Muck Sticky with Every Single Day. We're going to see him on the 16th and the 17th, a big camp out in Jacobsburg, Ohio, I think it's called. OVDJ, guys, get your tickets if you're in that Ohio area, or if you can get your asses there. WTHC is going to be there representing, having a good time and laughing. Anyway,
Good morning, Elvis.
welcome in, Elvis. How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
Hey, did you get my message the other day, Elvis? I'm sorry, but I didn't see it because the messages that go to Dr. High, I have to go into the Meta Business Suite to look at them, and it's a more complicated process than just checking normally, so don't check them as often as I should. And somehow I missed that message from you, so my sincerest apologies for the delay. So
yes,
that's what happened. I fess up to my badness. So
not me. I would be like, no, you never said that to me, you fucker. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. So all right, Zigzag story. So this was 1997, 1998 would be my guess. My daughter was about a year old, so I remember where I was living at the time. That's how I figure out the time. So I get a call from a buddy of mine, and he says, Dave, Zigzag Whites are off the market. They're not selling them anywhere. And I'm like, nah, that's not possible. They're so popular, right? It's not possible. I've been to a couple of stores and I can't find them. And somebody at the store told me that they're not allowed to sell them anymore. And I'm like, nah, I don't see that. So I hop right in the car and I go to like 3 or 4 corner stores around my house to get Zigzag Whites. And I get told the same story that he was told. They've taken them off the market because they're saying that the slow burn on the Zigzag White papers is due to asbestos, slowing down the burning process. So I'm like, I just don't see it. So now I'm panicked, right? Because they're the only rolling papers I use. Everything else was too thick. Back in those days, you had like export papers and Players papers and
Easy Wider, brown
paper. You rolling with newspaper. You know what I mean? For how thick they were. The rolling papers are made for cigarettes, not for cannabis. Not cannabis specific, where Zigzags really were more cannabis specific, right?
Right.
So after taking a look at those places and not being able to find them, I go home and I tell my wife, I said, listen, we need to go to Costco.
We got to move.
Well, back then, Costco used to sell cigarettes. They had the cage with tobacco products. They don't anymore.
Remember?
Back then,
Good morning, Facebook user.
Morning. So I tell my wife, because the Costco card's in her name. So I tell her, listen, we need to go to Costco and see if we can pick them up. So she's already in her pajamas, but she agrees to come anyway. So
I'll go for the ride.
Yeah, we shoot to Costco.
You can't do this by yourself. You're a grown man.
That's right. I go inside and I go to the cage.
I've heard that before.
Do you have Zigzag Whites? And they're like, yes. And I said, how many do you have? So the guy goes and he opens up the cupboard or wherever it was they have it in. And he said, I have 8 boxes. And I said, good, I'll take them all. Give me all 8.
He said, what?
And the guy's like, huh? And I said, yeah, give me all 8. Okay, so he gives me the 8 boxes. I go to pay. But they won't let me pay because my name's not on the card. It's my wife's name. So I'm like, fuck. So I go up to the car and I tell her, listen, you got to go in and pay. And she's like, I'm in my pajamas.
My pajamas.
And I said, doesn't matter.
I don't
we
care.
Need them.
We need them.
Go get them. And so she had to go into Costco in her pajamas to pay for these Zigzags. And I bought those 8 boxes, and then it took a little while for them to come back to market, but eventually they came back. But
they got rid of the asbestos. They were like, I guess we can't use that stuff anymore.
And Zigzag comes from France, so they're French roll papers.
French.
That's manufactured in France. So,
well, that was horrible for her. But I've done worse. I've made Mississippi do worse. Yeah, but I have mental illness. I get to use that for my excuse.
Probably took me 3 years to go through those papers.
Huh.
You know,
papers don't go bad, right?
No, but each box was 2,500 papers.
Right, but how much did it cost you when you bought it all? $800?
No, I don't remember, to be quite honest with you. So I'm not even going to throw out a number because I just really do not remember.
How many packs were in the thing?
25 books.
25 packs per case.
Yeah,
so
per box.
At $2, so that's $50.
Yeah, 50 a piece. So yeah, maybe $400. But I don't think I paid $400. But
I'm
I might
sure
have.
there's. I don't know. I'm just saying. Rough idea. I've never bought that many papers before, so I was.
I just bought them in a panic.
In
I was
case
like,
I need when I have Hippie Fest 2025, I might need to have 25 cases of.
Well, when I
papers
was
for
selling wholesale all these products to the head shops,
Elvis, make that happen.
a box of papers was about $40 wholesale for one box. So that's about what the customers are paying. Of course, it made a difference, right? If you were buying the good zigzags from France, because the zigzags got 6 or 7 different types of paper, but the most expensive ones were the real French ones in the blue package. But it was about $40 a box.
I'm not gonna lie,
best
Dr. High. I'm old. I'm old like you. Not quite as old, but getting there, catching up.
I thought you were going to say not quite as handsome.
Not quite as handsome, of course, but that's a given. But we're roughly in the same age bracket. I was brought up on Easy Widers, those brown packs for a very long time, and then slowly they came out with the gold pack, the lights, and then they came out with the ultralights, and then I went to the ultralights, and every time they came out with a lighter brand, I went with that, and I was an Easy Wider.
Rolling papers should be like condoms. The thinner, the better.
Yeah, well, that's we learned that as we got older, but we didn't know when we were kids. We smoked whatever.
Well, and the thing was,
whatever we saw the old people smoking with. If I saw an old dude, biker guy or something smoking, and he had a pack of Easy Widers, I was like, I guess that's what I'm supposed to use. So I went and bought Easy Widers.
Whatever you could get, really, at that age. Really
right at 13, it was like, well, I don't know. I can get one from my dad. I saw him in his room. All right,
that's right. Yeah. But there's so many papers out there now.
I know, it's amazing.
One of my favorite brands is a Swiss brand called Gizet. I don't know if you've ever seen them.
Oh,
but Gizet, they have an ultra thin, just like the Zigzag ultra thins. Those are in the silver package, the ultra thins, the silver, silver package. I think silver, blue, and orange, if I'm correct. But Gizet makes a really nice paper in the green package, which are their ultra thins out of Switzerland. Really nice. Sometimes I even like to use glass papers. Have you ever seen glass? See-through rolling papers?
No. I've seen glass stems.
No, these are glass rolling papers. So they're made out of vegetable cellulose, and they're clear. So once it's rolled up, you can see all the weed inside the joint. Yeah, they're kind of neat. They're called glass.
That's weird. But I mean, every day, my daughter smokes things that are out of rose petals now. I'm like, what? She's like,
there is a couple of lines coming out like that.
What? Rose petals?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
And then you got Elements, which is another big brand. Elements are good papers, but the glass ones are interesting. Have you ever seen Shine rolling papers?
I've heard of them.
24 karat gold?
Oh, yeah. I've heard of them, yeah. Do they have like a gold strip or gold specks in them or something like that?
Oh, they're gold. They're gold leaf. They're 24 karat gold leaf.
I've never seen them. I've heard of
rolling paper. Rolling paper is about $20 wholesale, $18 wholesale.
I was going through, not totally off subject here, but I was going through something yesterday, hit my interest. It was like things that you might own that might be worth lots of money right now. And it was a list of 100 things. And I couldn't stop. I kept going. There was so many fucking cool shit that I remember from when we were kids that is worth millions of dollars or thousands and thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And one of them was a smoking thing. A Zippo, maybe a gold Zippo that they originally made, like the first Zippo ever came out. It's like worth $5 million. I was like, Holy!
I mean, Zippo's the best lighter you can get, right? Because they're warranted for life. If you ever have a problem with them, you can send them right back. Zippo's in like Buffalo, New York, or Niagara
I'm a
Falls.
dumbass. I over my years of doing locker clean outs and that kind of stuff, I came across thousands of Zippos, and I would just sell them for $5. Sell it.
Yeah, I got quite a collection of Zippos.
If I would have looked into them, I'm sure there was a couple that were worth some money. I'm sure there was a couple that were and you never even think, hey, I can send these all in and get them fixed. These guys are buying them off of me for $5, getting them fixed, and then selling them for $100.
Yeah, because they're guaranteed for life.
Right.
I have a lot of Zippos just because they do such cool things, right? And when I worked in the wholesale, we probably had, I don't know, 100 different styles or whatever, and the new ones coming in all the time. So I get the ones that come in with the bands or Jack Daniels or the weed themed ones or whatever. When I caught my eye and pick it up, because I was only paying 40% of retail anyway.
We're talking about lighters. Let's talk about lighters for a second. What are your thoughts on the torch on flour, like in your bowl, or yes or no?
I mean, you could, yeah. There's no reason
I know
not.
you can, but I mean, is it too hot? Or you're getting your
Well, what I suggest to people when they're smoking from either a glass pipe, a metal pipe, a bong, is hemp wick. Hemp wick is what I always suggest, right? Because basically what you're doing is you're taking a Bic lighter or a
regular
there's
lighter.
a couple other brands out there, but you're taking a lighter and you're striking it and you're turning it upside down. So now, if you ever look at that close up, you'll see that little jets of butane are coming out, right? Little spots of butane, little droplets are coming out, and they're going onto your flour. So not only are you inhaling the cannabis, but you're inhaling some of the butane also, right? So when you use a hemp wick, you light the hemp wick and it burns like a candle, like a wick on a
Can
candle.
I see your hemp wick, sir?
I don't know where I could pull it out. I got some around someplace, but I don't smoke from the bongs. If I got one, it's just for fun.
I never seen it before. I would assume it's like a shoelace, kind of waxed or something.
It's waxed. You can get different kinds. You can get ones that are the perfect shape for your lighter. So it's actually like a lighter sleeve.
I see that being inconvenient. Like, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. I see that being inconvenient. You have a hemp wick lit, okay, and then you got one hand lit with a hemp wick or whatever the hell you call it, and then you got your mouth on the bong, and you gotta put this down. Where the hell do you put the fire? You just put it down and it goes out. I mean, all right, let me blow my hemp wick out.
You light your bong and you get a little one of these. It's out.
I don't know.
It's simple.
I see what you're saying. So that's why I was like, is a torch bad? Because I've seen people, and they're inhaling all sorts of shit. And I don't know, is a torch the best way to light my bong? I'm asking,
I wouldn't, but there's no reason that you shouldn't. I believe that when you're smoking by that way, hemp wick is the healthiest choice. And that's just the way
No more lighters. Give up on lighters. We're done with lighters.
I'm just having a look right here because somebody says, where do you get it from?
Yeah, I was just going to say.
I'm having a quick look to see if we can find it on Amazon.
Yeah, can we find it on Amazon? Can I get it by the by a roll?
So yes,
does it burn away?
Does
it burn away quick?
So they actually have the raw hemp wick because Raw makes it.
Raw brand.
Please do
Shout out to Raw. Love you guys.
But you can buy. Let's see if I can pull up a picture here. So here's the box, but the box doesn't show you anything.
Yeah, I just sort of read Raw. I didn't really see nothing else. It was all white.
So, is there any way to get that into the camera?
Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's not bad.
That's what hemp will look like. That'll be 100 foot.
So it looks like the shit that I used to do macrame with, except for a little thinner.
Yeah, it's just waxed. See, that's not raw, but that's a 200 foot spool for $16.
All right. And so how long, I mean, does that last forever? I mean,
you buy that, man, you're good for a while. Like you can even buy like a 10-foot one
And then you just clip little pieces, I guess, enough for in your hand to hold for a while until it gets too short.
Leave it right on the spool, and you just
Walk around
leave
with a fucking spool. I'm going to a festival.
Well, that's why you get the one that goes on the lighter, right? Because they have one that's like a lighter sleeve, so your big lighter will slip right down inside of it, and the hemp wick is wrapped around the lighter. So you can just simply pull off the little piece, light your lighter, it lights the hemp wick, and then use the hemp wick to light your bowl.
Oh. Why is everything got to be more difficult? We're supposed to be making things easier for us.
No, we're trying to make things the best experience.
Healthier.
Yeah, it's not about easier.
Damn healthy thing you keep bringing.
Yeah, it's not about easier. I'm just trying to show people the really.
I'm lazy.
Do it.
Dr. High, I'm lazy.
Right. So am I, but doesn't mean
that light the lamb lighter. But I want to do it the healthy way. I agree. And that's what I've been learning from you. Is everything that I've learned from you has been wonderful.
But you got to remember,
you haven't steered me wrong yet. So
no, when I'm talking about something, I'm always trying to give the best case scenario, right?
Absolutely
the ideal. Obviously you do whatever you do. Like if you want to,
and let me put a little waiver in here real quick. Everything I say is absolutely 100% comedy. He's the genius here. Never listen to anything the hippie says. Don't you? No, I'm just fucking with him. I'm just here for entertainment. He's the genius. He's the one that knows it all. I'm just here. He's amazing.
Training in the gym? Somebody says, I'm still here, just training.
Training. Who's in the middle of a training right now? Maybe Curly Kel at work.
Then what would you be training on if you got us on in the background?
She's always on the computer. She works on a computer, and then she has us on the phone.
Right.
So she's training at work, listening to a training, but not able to talk to us as much because she has to listen to the training. Anyway, I want to talk. Did our friend King Solomon, he leave? Are you still here, King Solomon?
Oh, speaking of which.
Yeah, and let's talk about our friend from Wednesday. Are they not set? I want to start advertising them for sure.
I'll send them a message. So I'm looking at Herbie's USA Express, which is what King Solomon showed us. And their reviews are quite good. This is, if you pull them up onto Google, the very first thing you'll see is a review. It says, based on our experience, Herbie Seeds is a reputable cannabis seed supplier, supported by a global community of growers who praise it for its quality seeds. From the 3,200 plus strains, discreet shipping options, and 70% germination guarantee, great customer care. So that's what the review says.
Sounds pretty fucking good.
Where did I just went back out of their actual site. Okay, so here we go. So Herbie Seeds. Let's go to shopping. So they have feminized seeds, autoflower, high CBD, and USA Express. So for most of the people that we're talking with, that would be where they would go, is the USA Express. But let's say somebody like Robert or somebody like Steve are still access to it. I'm seeing that these guys ship to South America, to New Zealand, all over the place, actually. So they seem to be worldwide. So in the feminized, they have quite a nice selection. Their prices aren't too bad. Let's see. So they say that their seed prices start around $5 and change per seed. But most of the time,
what I've heard is average. 5 is like average, right?
I've seen some of the genetic guys that I've worked with who are really serious about genetics and develop their own banks. I've seen them spend $300, $400, $500 on 10 seeds.
Right.
Like I know that you can spend that kind of money. And these guys,
depending on what you want and how genetically made it is, it's going to be more expensive, obviously, right?
Well, that's it. And when I sold seeds through the wholesale, we were 5 seed packs, and they would run anywhere from, let's say, $15 up to maybe $100, right?
Yeah,
Depending on the strain that you were selecting.
The ones that I got growing here, are
Well,
it was a 5-pack for $40, you know.
Just remember this: at a 70% germination, 5 seeds will get you 3 popped or 4, right? So
that means that that DJ Nephew Nick in the house. That means that, you know, they can't guarantee that they're all female. or no, I'm wrong. Okay.
No, if they're feminized, they should be.
Okay.
I don't quite understand the process of feminizing a seed. I don't really understand how they guarantee them
to have them
on.
Yeah, that's why we're going to have them on.
Explain but somebody like that would be able to explain that to us, because the majority of the growing I've done is from cutting, is from clones. Seed was something that I really only played around with as a kid when I first started, you know, growing. And then when we were pheno hunting new genetics inside a licensed producer, because we had about 50,000 seeds there. We had a massive seed bank of seeds. So we would plant 25 of the particular strain into a pheno hunting room, where we'd grow out those 25 plants, and then we would select the strongest, the best characteristics, 2 plants, 3 plants, and they would become our mother plants from which we would take cuttings. So seed is not, a lot of people do go from seed, but in a commercial environment, seed is not ideal for controlling your harvest per year. Right. So when you're growing on your own and you want to try different genetics, seed is ideal. Right. But once you become a larger cultivator, then it's much easier to work from clone and from cuttings. You know, and they're more predictable time wise, because you can cut, you know, from a room. Let's say we had rooms that were 800 plants. We could cut in a day 1,500 clones. You know,
see, this is where I want to cut in. This is where I want to cut in. So like said mutant plant here turns into a beautiful mountain of a plant.
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna call him, mutant for now. Yeah. Say it does, okay. I want to cut clones off of that, absolutely, right? Yeah. Because I mean, I don't want to do this seed shit every time.
No, if you got a tent, if you're working with a tent, it's much better to go from clone. Yeah, it's much better to go from clone. It's more predictable. It's easier to control. And once you learn your cloning technique, for every 10 clones you cut, 9 should root and produce perfectly. You know what I mean?
Is a professional at that rooting shit.
Yeah, it's easy. You need you need like a cloning gel, a rooting hormone, and that's it. They're pretty simple from there.
I don't even think she uses that. She just does it, and she's got plants all over this fucking house with roots.
Yep. Yeah, that's really the easiest way to go, right? Especially if you have something you like. If it's a genetic that you like and a strain that you like, then at least if you take cuttings, you'll know that it'll repeat itself over and over and over again. As long as you keep the environmental conditions consistent from harvest to harvest, you should be able to retain levels within 1 or 2 or 3% of each other from each subsequent harvest. Maybe a little bit better sometime, maybe a little bit worse, depending on how you've controlled the environment.
Well, unfortunately, we have talked too much, and now I have to do a commercial.
It's exactly on the 20. It's 19.
Yeah, well, 19. So I'm going to do a song, and then I'm going to do the commercials, and we'll be right back. This is our friends Calligraphy, who will also be playing at that concert with Muck Sticky, conveniently for me. I get to meet them both. Here we go with THC by Calligraphy.
Hey, it's Bill Schmidt Jr., a.k.a.
Billy Blaze,
a.k.a. 420 Kid of the Holistic Cloud. R.I.P. to my man Derek Craw. I want to give a shout out to
Happy 420 to everybody out there, especially my friends over there in the UK where it's actually 420. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to get high with you.
Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Big buzz till little crumbs broke up in the bottom. Feel like autumn leaves falling. Only problem needs solving.
Happy birthday month.
For some trees to indulge in. Need to
Hello.
he keep his head in the cloud.
Hello.
Bush, wow, screaming loud, still smoking, having nice dreams, floating through space. So when they ask me how high, I reply, I'm half baked. Sir, smoke a lot. Doctor said I need a bacchiotomy. Prescribe me huckleberry and lemon cherry gelato, G. I take it back to rolling in the Optimo, blowing smoke out my nose, dropping ashes on my clothes till I doze off. I'm so fried, no lie. Got you afraid of heights, scared to look down, you so high. Cause when I spit that shit, it's like I lit that shit in the crowd, pass it around and let you hit that shit. Weed is all I need. Smoke that weed. Weed is all I breathe.
Hello. What's up?
Roll up in the leaf for my relief.
Yep.
I'm in love with the THC. Roll that shit.
What do you mean?
Lick that shit. Burn it. Roll that shit. 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 Lick that shit. Burn it.
Nick, it's still August, you dork.
Roll that shit. Lick that shit. Burn it.
Roll that shit, lick that shit,
burn it.
Good sunshine in my pocket on a Sunday stroll. Homie got the rap, give me the sack. Let the good times roll. Therapy, earth, body, and soul. World, give me.
Hey, by the way, Facebook, I own the rights to this. They have I have a letter here in my files that says Calligraphy gives you the right to play this music. So please don't take it down. Jerks.
Hands in stressful situations. Out of all the girls in my life, Mary Jane, a reservation. Here in 23, raising hands in liberation. A celebration, history free from information. Stand up, provide the right education. Show love, holistic cloud, politics throughout the nation. Making it stop debating Billy Blunt, stash, flavor, taste the weed.
Weed is all I need. Smoke that weed. Weed is all I breathe. Broke down leaves. Roll up in the leaf for my relief. I'm in love with the THC. Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it. 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 Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it.
Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it. Roll that shit, lick that shit, burn it. Yeah.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute?
When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you
Figured
take
nobody
of
needs
yourself,
to hear
the
your
better care you can
conversation.
provide for your loved one.
Thanks. I was just talking to my son. He's trying to buy his first car.
We're here for you.
I wish he'd wait 6 weeks until I was there.
At a dealership?
That's
He's getting suckered. Tell him to get out of there now. Run.
You know what? I've counseled them as much as I can. And you know what I mean? I've given them the right advice, I think. But he's 22 years
We
old.
found our sister to a big oak tree. It was 100 years old.
Yeah, I
My
know.
mom said
I
it
have a
wasn't for
23-year-old and I have an
then we went down by a
18-year-old who both
stream.
know
We
everything.
stepped on this
No.
huge rock.
He's not like that. He's open to the ideas, right? And he's following like
Does he have a good job? Does he have a good job? Does he get paid well?
Guarding him at the bush.
Yeah, he's very savvy with his.
Yeah, then he'll be fine. As long as he's mature and he's got his shit together, then he'll be fine. It's it's the ones like me who didn't have my shit together and thought that I did, and then took that loan out, and now I owe for the rest of my life. That kind of
Well, and that's the thing
that
I'm
worries
trying to
me
counsel
about my
again,
children.
right?
Take you and your friends.
Is not buying. Like I told him, I said, listen, if you have cash,
Check out
then
Discover the
try
Forest
not to exceed the value of the cash you have
and the ad
to make
council.
that purchase. Don't get into the financing. And I said, and if you must finance, go to the bank and get a line of credit or a personal loan. Don't finance through a dealership because that's where they'll get you.
Contact
So,
George.
Oh, yeah.
234-135. He has all your
I don't know, I don't even know what cars go. I went a couple years ago, like maybe 5 years ago, and I went to look at a new truck. It was just happened to be there, and I was just looking at something that I would be interested in, a Ford F-150, not even the Ford part, just we happened to be at a dealership, and that was there, and it was brand new on the lot, as is $65,000, and I was like,
What are you doing today?
You know what I'm doing. The same
no added, the basic package, $65,000, and I was like, I will never own another brand new car. I've just made that decision. Not worth it.
No, back before I went to the States, like in 2001, I bought a brand new Mustang and a brand new Explorer in the same year. Right off the lot. You know what I mean? Like,
it was a worry stone.
Oh my God! No, but
never buy a new car again.
from blankets to
me either.
bags, purses,
Not
and
worth it.
hats.
I don't even want a fucking car. I want a horse and buggy.
You lose so much value. And the insurance, right? Like when I bought the Mustang, I bought a Mustang GT convertible for my wife.
WTHC. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, buddy. Sorry, now I'm choking to death. We're back. We're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High, and we're chilling out. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them over there in the chat. I hope you're enjoying the show out there on Live 365 and tune in. If you feel free to come on over, we're here on Facebook and YouTube, WTHC-radio. Oh, no, I guess you just looked that up. But anyway, we were talking about buying new cars and oh my goodness, and the times now, it's only got to be worse. I mean, that was 5 years ago, Dr. High, when it was $65,000 for a no basic like roll up window shit, basic package for a brand new.
But in Canada, that vehicle is way more expensive. Like I was just telling you, in 2001, I bought a brand new Ford Explorer. So I paid just under 40,000, 38,500 for that car in 2001. In 2005, when I arrived in the U.S. to visit for a while, I was looking at a newspaper, and the 2005 Explorer Sport, the same vehicle that I bought from 2001, was only 24 grand in the U.S. brand new. 4 model years newer. So in Canada, we get it pretty good at the dealerships, right? But you just got to be a smart buyer.
You got to learn to make cars up there.
Well, I can tell you, we do. We make as many cars in Windsor as they do in Detroit. They work together. Huh?
What kind of cars? I've never heard of the Canadian.
Chrysler, Ford, General Motors.
Oh, so you're making our cars for us. Thank you.
All your minivans, all your Chrysler minivans, they're made in Windsor.
Yeah, you got factories of ours up there, but they're American made. I mean, they're made in Canada, but you're doing our plans, like I guess what you would call our X-rays. I don't know what do you call the
I don't know, but that's what
I don't even know why we're talking about cars. We're fucking high. You bought a $28,000 car because you were stoner. You should have looked around a little better.
No, you just got to be smarter. This is how I beat the car salesman on the Mustang.
Okay.
My wife wanted a Mustang. It was her dream car, so we wanted to get her one. So I went out and got a brand new GT convertible.
That's where she went wrong. She should have got the 1964 and a half.
Yeah, that would have been nice. But so at the dealership, they wanted a certain amount of money. So as we're at the in the sales manager's office doing the paperwork, I told them I want in this contract 24 hours right of refusal. So although we're signing the contract now and everything is done, I have 24 hours to back out of the deal. And they didn't like that, right? But I said, listen, you either write it into the contract or there's no contract.
We're walking out now. There is no contract.
So they did. I took that contract. I went directly to another dealership that had the same car. And I told them, here's the contract. Done. Ready to go. If you can beat their price, I'll give you the business. So they're like, oh. So they take it up to the manager's office. They come back. They say, okay.
Let us see what we can do. Yeah, let us see what we can do. Yeah.
And they were going to give us like $2,000 less on the car. So we're like, very good.
But you're not going to get windows, and you're not going to. We
No,
forgot.
but they wanted the business. So when we're doing up the contract, I told him the same thing I told the other guys. I need 24-hour right of refusal on the contract, and they wrote it in. I went right back to the original dealership, and I said, "Listen, what do you want to do? Here we are. Can you beat their price? Because if you can't beat their price, I have to give them my business." And they beat the price too. So I eventually ended up saving probably $300 or $3,500 on that purchase, just by going back and forth a little bit. So, it's up to the consumer, right? You have to be a wise consumer, and you have to understand that these people don't care about you. They care about your money. And
right. And that leads us right back to our story about all my new friends that keep hitting me up on Facebook, telling me about all their wonderful flowers and other things and guns. Can we say guns? Can we say guns over here?
I wouldn't talk about it.
I wouldn't talk about that. Yeah, we're not talking about Bruno. But
I never accept any friend requests on Facebook without looking at the profile.
Oh, I went crazy. I can't deal with this. If they're gonna diagnose me with anything, it's OCD.
Are you doing Facebook user?
I cannot deal with those little things across the top of my phone. It drives me nuts.
What little thing?
The little notifications saying that I'm having a nervous breakdown now just thinking about it. Because I haven't touched my phone in like 2 hours. There's going to be 100 of them there. It's all friend requests to my tie-dye tea page.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, now I'm at 3,500 of them. I'm like, I had 100 when I started this with you. And then I started sharing things out. And now I'm at 3,500 or 33,000. I dropped a whole bunch recently. I said, if I can't pronounce your name, you're not allowed to hang out here. And, all these people with the weird looking writing stuff, it might be their name. I apologize if it is your name.
Well, there's actually a lot of people from Thailand on Facebook where cannabis has just become legal, like in the last year.
Yeah,
and
that's
a really thriving community, right? So I don't discount on that. What I do is I look at the profile. If I see guns, clone cards, cocaine, pills, right away.
I immediately. But I'm not going through and looking at them. If they don't say nothing to me and they don't reach out to me and they're just sitting there, then that's fine. Stay there. But if you're coming and you're reaching out to me and asking me if I want to buy your said stuff that you just said, then I'm not interested. You get blocked and you get kicked out. I fuck with you a little bit. I'm like, if you're a legal dispensary, and then I want to have you ganji lovers in the house.
Well, what it comes down to is we're kind of.
Good morning, everybody. Facebook user over there that said hello before, ganji lovers. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for stopping.
Ganji lovers. So I'm on 4 weeks of only CBD and still having seizure issues.
I didn't even see that.
What kind of dose are you taking? How was it before? I mean,
Does that burn?
Did you switch just from THC to only CBD, or I'd be curious to know a little bit more about your situation so that I can maybe help you sift through what's going on and maybe adjust what you're doing to find some relief. Would be fantastic. So if you could be a little more detailed about, is this the first time? Like, are you just starting CBD or using cannabis?
Yeah, I think it's burn
situation, or
I was at a gram a day. I am trying to get to the dispensary.
Now, a gram of CBD or a gram of cannabis? Because it's not quite the same thing. I mean, a gram of CBD. Okay.
Pills.
Right. So you were on a gram of cannabis a day, and now you switched to straight CBD, and you're still having issues. Kyle, how are you? It's been a while.
What's
You're
up,
doing
Kyle? He's back to work now. He's a working man again. School started.
One of my favorite songs in the whole world, "Working Man."
School's out. Oh, I thought.
I think when you asked me the very first time if there was a song I'd like to hear, I think "Working Man" was the very first one. Yeah, I think it was the very first one. It's been 22 years of the seizures. And how long have you been using cannabis to try and?
I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this person right now. Okay.
Yep.
Ready? This is Hippie's diagnosis. I mean, not diagnosis. You obviously have seizures. This is the cure, the hippie cure. Get yourself a whole bunch of indica, and right before you go to bed, smoke a big old fat. No. When it's time at 7 p.m., smoke a big old fatty, go lay down and go to sleep. Sleep 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours, then get up and enjoy your day.
Yeah.
You can't, if you have seizures, and I don't know, I'm not no doctor or anything, but I know a lot of people who have seizures, and when it all comes down to it, it's lack of sleep. It's lack of, your body is not getting enough sleep.
Well, there are triggers, right? There are certain triggers that can like flashing lights for people with epilepsy.
Absolutely,
and
but
this. There are triggers. Yeah, we can message about this. Absolutely, I'm more than happy, and we won't message about it because I'm 55 years old, 56 years old, messaging back and forth. But if you send me some contact information from you, I will call you. We can either use Facebook video call, or I'll call you on the phone, and we can talk about it. Well, maybe they don't want to be too public.
No. But I mean, but you're willing. That's why we're here.
Yeah,
I mean, you're willing to help them no matter what. We're going to work.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, we can do it. And if you see on the screen right now, drhigh.com, if you go to drhigh.com, you can go into my services at the top of the page where it breaks down home and all these things. If you go to services, I have cannabis coaching services that I offer, but I do 15-minute consultation, a free consultation right off the rip. And I'm not saying that I'd expect you to pay for it afterwards, but if you want to keep your contact information private and your information private, simply go to drhigh.com, go into the services, go into cannabis coaching. I have a contact form there. You can enter your information in the contact form, and I will
be where I get all my info.
Spend some time with you and try and sort your way through this so that you can, perhaps have some success. Or
he's helping me with my crazy.
It'd be absolutely my pleasure to help, because actually from helping people and from going through these with people and understanding their experiences, that makes me able to help other people. Right? It's part of my learning process also. Because it's very interesting, but by teaching you learn. Right? When you teach,
and said person over here in Facebook, I ordered the stuff today. I was a little late on ordering the stuff, but I ordered the stuff for CBD.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it. I can pass on that information to you, and you can order it as well. I think it was a total of $25. It was $10 for the bottle of the stuff, $15 for shipping. We're in the United States. We're gonna make our own CBD, so you don't have to spend the hundreds of dollars every time going to buy a cart at the dispensary. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be better. It's gonna be made for you. You can make it to your strength. So Dr. High is gonna help us through that. Everybody, that's everybody. So maybe I can even try to figure out how to put that link. Not now, but I'll put it up on the Facebook page for that CBD stuff that you sent me, so that everybody can pick it up if they want it, because we're going to make it. You need to get MCT oil, right, Dr. High?
Yeah.
So go out and get your MCT oil now while you're waiting for it to come. So you have your MCT oil, and then I guess you're going to need carts or whatever.
That would depend on the method of ingestion also. Perhaps they would prefer not to vape it. But the thing is when you vape it, it's the most immediate delivery, right? If you've seen, I posted last week on my feed.
Wait a second, doctor. No doctor has ever told me, well, if you want to do it this way, you can do it. You tell them this is how you got to do it. Tell them, Doctor.
Well, no, because cannabis is different, right? It's very, very individualized. So sometimes it takes a little bit of trial and error to determine the exact pathway that's the most suited to you personally. At $60 a cart. So let me ask you this. Is that $60 cart a full ml of CBD, or is it a 0.5 ml? Because I'll show you exactly how it breaks down from here. If you're paying $60 for half a gram,
you're going to shock how much you're going to save by doing it this way.
Yeah. That's the thing, because I've done it at a commercial level. So when I learned how to produce
1 gram
these products, because they were meant to be sold, I needed to control my production costs. Right? So to do everything at rock bottom prices, at manufacturing prices.
Right. The best quality at the cheapest prices.
Right. So for what for what Hippie and I are talking about, based on those numbers, 1 gram for $60, your cost buying it like this would be $600 to achieve what the Hippie and I will achieve for $35.
Right. So for $35, he's going to teach me to do exactly what you need, that you're paying $60 every time you go to get it.
Yeah.
And I'll have way more than you for $35.
Well, you'll have 10 times the amount.
10 times the amount for $35.
Yeah, for $35.
Right.
So
and it's very easy. No real tools involved, right? Maybe a blender. Is that what you said?
Nope.
If we were going to vape it?
Nope. You don't need a blender. Nope. Nope. You don't need it. What you really need is a graduated cylinder from Amazon. So it's a cylinder that's got measurements on it, right? It's a scientific thing, but it's just called a graduated cylinder. It's probably, you can get a pack of 3 of them, a 10 ml, a 50 ml, and a 100 ml. And I think when I bought those 3, they were, oh geez, I don't even remember. They were cheap though. They're probably about $10 a piece, and you only need one. You need a 10 milliliter graduated cylinder.
Dr. High, let me ask you a question. So that is at a 1-to-1. Is that a 1-to-1? Am I correct in that?
No, that's pure CBD.
That's going to be pure CBD, not on a 1-to-1 or nothing like that, right?
No, if you start going 1-to-1,
if I wanted to add THC, then I would just buy some distillate.
Yes.
In the syringe. That's what we need to talk about. Curly Kell has a question. She's in a meeting, so she can't really talk. But yeah, we saw you're going to Foreigner. That's awesome, bro. But now you made me forget, Kyle.
Do you want to know what love is, Kyle?
I want to know what love is.
Hey, Foreigner, I always loved that, especially their first album, Head Knocker, Cold as Ice.
I go through my Foreigner section. It's like every song is fucking fantastic. I'm like, I don't even know which one to pick right now. Except for some are too slow and then some are way faster. You know, I don't want. Next thing I know, I'm putting up, "Will you still love me tomorrow?" Whatever, you know. And I'm like, what the
Styx, The Grand Illusion, best album they ever did.
Love it.
You know? So
all right. Anyway, Curly Kell. Can you look up her dispensary thing there again, please, while you have the opportunity, if you have the opportunity? She's saying that she can't get the distillate in the syringe there, and she might be right, but she's saying she can't find it.
It's possible.
But Lori, now, on the other hand, loves
I saw Lori since she tried the distillate and liked it.
Oh, she's going to be on it forever, I think.
Kyle, you're a dirty white boy, aren't you, Kyle?
White boy. Yeah, he is. He's a dirty white boy. I'm a dirty white boy from Utah.
Yeah.
Can't be very dirty from Utah.
George is waiting for my response.
All right, George. We'll be right with you.
No, that's just apartment hunting. Starting to get a little bit stressed. It's really hard to find a place to live from 200
should
miles
have
away.
listened to me 2 weeks ago when I said, Dr. High, you probably should start. You were like, no, we got plenty of time. We got to wait because you got to give them 60 days shit. And I was like, I don't understand that shit.
Where is she again?
Hudson, New York. It's called, hold on. It's called, it's one of my brands here, Cure Leaf.
Cure Leaf?
Yeah, I think it's Cure Leaf. Hudson
Valley. Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
Whoever it was talking about the CBD and the seizures, please reach out to me so that we can have a.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is. She'll rename name, or he or she will rename nameless until.
Yeah, I mean it's up to them.
Because, yeah, I mean, but I know. I think I know who it is. I'll smack her around.
Just so you know, it's really
sleep off. Stop damn crocheting.
Yeah, actually, I'm not seeing here concentrates.
They're making me go. Well, no, they're not. But I'm gonna have to go to the dispensary before we go because these two psychos want more of it.
Distillate.
I did not believe you. I just thought you were a little slow.
She's right. So I put in THC distillate in the search, and it says we couldn't find what you're looking for.
So weird. But meanwhile, they got that juice that drops that you can get, but they don't have distillate. But meanwhile, my place has distillate, but doesn't have the drops.
Yeah, it's considered an edible, those drops. But here they don't seem to be doing.
But I thought distillate was an edible. Technically, that's what you use to make edibles. No,
you can. And the reason that distillate is effective is because it's already been activated, right, through decarboxylation. So when you do the initial extraction prior to distillate, most of those extractions are done either with alcohol or CO2 or whatever the case may be, but they're all cold processes, right? Because by doing cold extractions, you're able to retain more of the cannabinoids and terpenes and the important things, right? Because heat is what makes them go away, right? So the hotter your process, the more of the volatiles you lose when you heat it up, the more terpenes and that. So you're actually negatively affecting the potential medical benefit through the use of a hot process. So with the cold process, you're extracting mostly THCA that's available and some THC, right? What's already converted over time through the drying process, but it's not activated, so your body can't utilize it and get high from it the same way. When you make distillate, basically what you're doing is you're heating cannabis oil or your slurry, whatever it is, the mixture of alcohol and concentrate inside the flask, to around 420 degrees, which causes the THC to become a vapor. Once it becomes a vapor and you recool it to turn it back into a liquid or distillate like you see it, because it's been heated to that point, the THCA, that molecule, that carbolic acid, has been removed. And that's why distillate you can take orally and get the effect.
Can you take it anally?
Yes.
Just asking. Just asking. All right, we got to do a commercial because it's that time again. But I got some questions. Good morning, Douglas. I hope you and Missy are feeling better. They were come down with that David. They're doing better. They looked a little healthier yesterday.
That's
I hope
good.
you're feeling good today. I want to talk to you. I got to talk to you about something very important to me. All right.
Okay.
When I go out now, and this is what we're going to talk about when we come back, unless you have something better. When I go out and I see people with dabs or concentrates, we'll call them, for an so any type of concentrate. Okay.
Yep.
Why do they look so different from everything else? Everybody's looks so different. Some of them are pure white, like dabs. Some of them are chocolate brown and crusty looking. Some of them are golden beautiful, and I don't know.
Going to be a long conversation, but we can get into it.
All right, let me do these commercials, and we
All
can
right.
go from there. And I got a new artist coming up. His name is Roy West. He's got a song for us. He's a new independent artist here. Yeah, it's pretty good. So we'll be right back. You're hanging with the hippie and Dr. High on WTHC. Much love.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I got to tell you, I was
Yeah,
nervous
thank
to
goodness.
talk to
I will
someone
get
so
more
different.
this
Me
weekend.
too, but I'm glad we are.
Nice.
No
With
labels
the
and
brother
one
who's
small
now
step
the
are
new
helping
daddy,
people with different political views,
Kyle.
beliefs, and life experiences
Uncle
come together
Kyle.
through conversation.
Cannabis makes for better parents.
Your story is so
I agree.
Yeah.
Mrs. Hippie would disagree with that.
people
She
actually
said,
sit down,
but if
talk,
these
and
kids
listen
know
to one
anything, they
another,
learned
they
it
can
from
break
me.
down
They didn't learn it
boundaries and
from
connect
her.
as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/one small step, you can listen to
They
amazing,
learn to be lazy as
life-changing
well from me, I
conversation
guess.
and
But
find simple
the
tools
other
to
stuff
start a
that they do
conversation
know,
of
they
your
got
own.
from me as
I know one
well.
thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com.
Well, if you live in your dad's house and you're 60 years old, you probably should be doing some chores, you bum.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any
You're not
different?
doing it for your dad. You're doing it for yourself because it's a combined environment.
Right. It's
Learn
not
new
your
instruments.
dad wants you to. It's because it needs to get done,
Start skateboarding.
dumbass.
Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for
Okay.
retirement is.
That's a
Aretirement.org.
resignation.
Get on track with
He's
your
like my
retirement
new
savings, no
son.
matter your
My
age.
youngest
Just have
is
a
way
2-minute
younger
chat
than
with
him
Avo, the
and
friendly
way more
digital
mature.
retirement coach from AARP.
I have to talk to
You'll
him
get
like
personalized
he's my son.
recommendations based on
Nephew
your
Nick,
input that are easy to understand and
please
work
behave
with your
yourself.
lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Woohoo! Snarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to
All right, dear
acretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today.
Uh-oh,
That's
somebody just got up.
acretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad
Sleepyhead.
Council.
Say bye-bye to bottled water. Holistic
You
Health
didn't
Water
eat
has
all day
certified
yesterday.
medical-grade water ionizers that make 7 types of water.
Did you do anything fun this weekend?
There's a
No.
5-micron filter that lasts up to a year, and each machine lasts 25 to 30 years. Simply attach to your faucet or install under your sink. Even get a mineral spa unit for your shower. Go to ownyourwater.org to get a free ebook. Plus, pay for any machine in full and get an extra filter free. Change your water and change your life. Ownyourwater.org.
Hey, Mrs. Hippie, why don't we take a ride to Dauphin, PA today?
Dauphin? What's in Dauphin?
Bella's Badass Crystals.
Oh, but I thought you hang out with them on Facebook and on TikTok.
That's only on Mondays, Tuesdays, Saturdays, Sundays. Today I want to go there and pick up all my great finds.
That sounds like a great road trip. That's Bella's Badass Crystals on TikTok and Facebook, but you can also find them on the top of the mountain in Dauphin, PA.
They are badass.
Leave the door cracked for you to come back.
I just want to give a huge shout out to Chuck over at Collins Painting LTD. You can find them over on Facebook. They're in Ellensville, New York. Wow, what a great team over there. Really amazing and always supporting us here over at WTHC.
Speaking of great teams, here's a new one from us. It's our new friend Roy West with Never Say Goodbye.
Whoa, whoa, you don't know how I'm feeling without you here in my life, and all the love that you've been dealing is feeling me up inside, 'cause I'll never be alone
Now we're the bums, Nick. Me and Hippie, neither one of us got a job.
But I work every freaking day. I just don't get paid for my job.
Yeah, exactly. Me too.
Girl, I'll love you.
Me too.
Till the day I die.
So far this month, I've made $14.
The day I die.
That's 14 more than I've done. So far this month, I paid my bills. So I did make money. I made enough to pay to keep the radio going.
I'm actually making negative numbers per hour.
My next sponsor will be a profit.
There you go. That'll be good.
I'm so excited. If I can get just one more, I'll make a profit, which will just go into the radio station because then I'll be able to at least buy some of the stuff I need to get. Like I need to get a new microphone so I can go out and do the show up in Ohio.
Are microphones expensive?
Huh?
Are microphones expensive?
No, but I'm not making that much of a profit, dude. I said a profit.
I'm just wondering because I see a lot of guys
all
using.
All of a sudden, I'm making them. Fulton Block's Most Wanted. Woo-hoo!
What's up? Does he got that on the back of a CD cover now?
Yeah, I sent them the message. I hope he got it. I saw a cover photo. Yes, it was on the back. It looked great.
I actually fixed up your image a little bit. You can. Upscaled it.
This one?
Yeah, the WTHC radio one.
Oh, awesome.
Better resolution, cleaner picture.
You clean up anything you want to clean up. You have full control over that.
Well, because I've attached it to the videos, right?
Right.
So in the videos, you got WTHC on one side and you got Dr. High on the other, and then the video in between, so that the logos are both on the
top, shout it. Girl, I'll love you until the day I die.
Absolutely, Fulton. Thank you for putting the Army one on there instead of just the radio one. I appreciate that. Everything else is cool. I appreciate it. Much love. Keep on rocking, bro. All right, we're going live. WTHC, that's Roy West with Never Say Goodbye. Another one of our friends from around here. Just he hit up Tim, and Tim found him, and I think Tim and him are friends, and I'm proud to play it. I like it. It's some good shit. Anyway, Dr. High, so my question was, why do, that's what makes me nervous now, but I'm trying to get over that nervousness. Are you there? Are you with me? Because I seen this morning, a good friend of ours was in the Discord hanging out, and she picked up a jar of her dabs and showed me how pretty they were, but they were a very darker colored dab.
Okay.
And that I'm used to. And I was like, oh, that looks pretty. But in my head, I'm like, I don't know if that's good. And I think that's my own mental illness. It's my own mental illness, I think. But, because I'm just so petrified of everything now because of, I don't know, just because I'm crazy. But, why do they always look so different? Like another friend of mine, I can go and she'll give me a great deal on some product, I guess we'll call it, a medicine. And, but it's not the same. I mean, I definitely get a buzz off of it, but I feel like it just doesn't burn the same as other dabs that I've gotten from the dispensary. Right. And then that makes me nervous that it kind of gives me a sizzle compared to a melty.
That's right away an indication that you shouldn't use it.
Right, and I think it's like a baking soda sizzle, and it looks very white, like white dabs, like very white and soft and smushy, and like I said, you get a buzz off of them. I haven't died yet. I've done a couple dozen grams off of it in my time, but I don't go to her very often unless I'm in a bad place, and I need to get something.
I have seen extracts that are waxy like that. Like I think we talked about it one time. It'd be the color of crack.
This is not. Yeah, no. I know crack. Listen, Crack and me, we were friends.
No,
for
I'm
a very
talking
long
about the
time.
color. I'm
No,
talking
yeah,
about the
white
color.
like that color, but even Crack had more of a brown or yellow, like yellowish color to it. This is like pure white baking soda, and when I touch it, it's like soft and sugary, like and you can press it down and it spreads out. It's fairly easy to work with. It doesn't stick to your fingers at all,
Right.
if that makes any sense. It's no stickiness to it. It burns just like everything else, but it's got like a little more of a sizzle than it does a melty.
Well, one of the most expensive grams I ever bought was produced by a guy here in Canada named Horatio Delbert, who was extracting with D-limonene. So he was actually using limonene, the terpene, as a solvent to do the extractions. Now, those concentrates were virtually white and had the texture of a soft wax. You know what I mean? And they were so flavorful and so nice. And I paid $125 for that gram because I wanted to know. I was just curious, right? But really, really good. But I've seen concentrates that run anywhere from almost clear and very, very pale yellow to a darker reddish gold to many different colors. So, I mean, we got to compare apples to apples. So when you're talking about shatter, there are different reasons those shatters can come in different colors. If somebody has made that shatter from a plant that's just recently harvested, and it was harvested early and the trichromes are a clear color, you'll have a lighter colored shatter.
I guess my question really is should I be as afraid about this stuff? I mean, how do I know when it's bad, like when it's not real, without trying it, without wasting my money? When I'm at that festival, like at this festival, I walked around all day and there was people selling all sorts of different flavors and colored dabs everywhere.
Well, the first concern you should have is that at that event, you're in a state where cannabis isn't legal for recreational use.
True.
First place, you got to be concerned, right? Because unless people are willing to go to prison to sit at this little thing and sell their goods, then what they're selling may not be what it's stated to be, because there's jeopardy for them involved, right?
But isn't that illegal too? Like false advertisement or bullshitting me for my money?
Who are you going to go to? Hey, I bought a gram of shatter at this event in a state where it's not legal. Are you going to the police to make a complaint?
No, but I would go back to them and beat their ass.
Well, that's your option, right? But you're not there. There is very little repercussion. There's not much action you can take because you are participating in an illegal transaction, technically.
Yeah, I remember those days when I got robbed at the damn dead end, and I'd be like, that motherfucker gave me oregano, and I wanted to go call the cops, and I'm like, that's not going to work.
No, you can't do it.
Can't call the cops. Tell them.
Like I tell, and the way I see it is, if you can't go to a legal distribution outlet, if you don't know the person actually making it, like the legal distribution outlet is where you're the safest, right? A dispensary, especially in a medical state, right? Once it becomes recreational in the U.S., then you still have to be a good consumer. But if it's a state where medical cannabis is legal, you can only purchase under a prescription, and then you have dedicated dispensaries you can do business with, chances are very, very high that the product available there is what it's stated to be. The THC numbers might not be exact, right? Because they may shop it around the labs. They might get, a 78% on this distillate from one lab. They might get an 81% from this distillate at this lab. And of course, they're going to go with the lab that shows the best numbers, right? That gives it the greatest commercial potential or the ability to charge the most money for the product. Once you have to go outside of that, once you're talking about dealing with people outside that channel, if you don't know them, then they have no reason to be accountable to you.
Right.
So if it's a friend or somebody that you know who's actually doing the process themselves,
I don't have any friends that do this shit. I have friends that buy the stuff and then sell it. You know,
Then
like
resell it. So
right. I don't know anybody that's like
the
doing
whole,
this stuff.
the whole question is right, like buyer beware.
Right. And you know, and I ask these questions and I'm very repetitive, but I feel like no matter what, we always have new people sitting here and listening, and these questions might be repetitive to you and I, but it's important for people to understand that if you don't know what you're getting, you know, then you don't. There you go.
We were talking about this earlier. There's my mouse pad.
Nice. Shout out to Raw. We love you, Raw. We'd be happy to sponsor you, Raw. Come on over or whatever.
Oh yeah, it's buyer beware, right? When you're in an environment where you're dealing in the underground side of things. I mean, I can't.
That's the whole thing.
Right? I can tell you why things are different colors, different textures, different things like that. I can give you the.
I don't want to go out and buy stuff and be like, "Yo, what's this?" And you'd be like, "Oh, that's shit. Throw it away." I'd be like,
yeah, but I would never know from here.
That would 50.
You could show me pictures all day long, and I probably wouldn't be able to tell you the truth because from a picture you can't tell. You just gotta see it enough. You gotta deal with it enough. You gotta be around it enough to know where there's room to play the game. Right on their end.
Nervous because I have an opportunity. Somebody offered me an opportunity to get some medicine for about an ounce of it for $125. And then they made the statement, yeah, dabs.
Yeah, so right away be concerned because to produce 30 grams of dabs, if you have a starting product, a flower, that's 25%. Then you have to start to get 30 grams, you have to start with 120 grams to even approach that 30 grams, right? So you need to start with a quarter pound of flour to pull your 30 grams of dabs. Right. So where you find a quarter pound of flour in your neck of the woods, $125.
No, $600. You know, $600 or $700. You get a good quarter pound. You turn it into $125 worth of stuff, and you sell it.
Yeah.
So you sell it for $125. That makes sense.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, when you just start to look at the logistics of it and what it's all about, then it's very easy.
And this guy is a great guy who made this offer to me, and no offense to him at all in any way, but this is a learning show, and this is all about learning and teaching and helping people understand.
Yeah, I'm not saying this guy's screwing you around, but I'm just saying the numbers don't make sense.
And that makes 100% sense what you just said to me, which makes me make that decision that I'm probably not going to take him up on that, because why would somebody spend $600 to make $125 worth of something?
Listen, I'll tell you about an experience I had where I got beat. All right. When I was making pens, when I first started making pens, I could only, because I didn't have a closed loop system at the time, I was open blasting, which makes it difficult to produce at volume. But I had volume orders for pens. I could sell hundreds of pens a day, which meant for every 100 pens I sold, I needed somewhere around 66 grams of concentrate to produce that 100 pens. And I wasn't able to keep up because I didn't have the right equipment. So we had somebody who was a customer of the store where I worked who had a kilo, 2 pounds of shatter, which he was willing to sell us for $8,000. So I consulted with my boss, my partner, and they were like, okay, yeah, let's do it. You know,
how many times I've had over $8,000 that I could have just spent on.
Yeah, well, this was business, right? So it takes money to make money. That's the simple truth. So we grabbed this kilo. I looked at it. I checked it first. It was thick. It wasn't the way I did my sheets. I like my sheets nice and thin, but this guy, they were thick, and it appeared to be okay on the surface. So we moved ahead. Well, in the first batch of pens, as I started to convert it into a liquid that would be usable inside the cart.
So what do you got to do? Melt it down, like reheat it, let it Let it
No,
wax
you
up.
gotta mix it with like MCT oil and stuff like that, which you do
But
with
if it's in a shatter, if it's already in a shattered base, is that what you were saying? It was
yeah.
You
But
got
it
to mix
was
it with
thick,
MCT
right?
oil, and it'll. Yeah, you were saying it was thick, so I'm thinking like
Or whatever it is,
I'm
right?
thinking like a 1/4 inch thick, across the sheet pan,
Yep. But what you couldn't see at the time was that.
Love you too, Elvis. Elvis, make that happen. Hippie Fest 2025.
Have a great day, Elvis. Thanks for spending some time with us.
We'll set
OCB
it up.
newsletter. OCB papers. Another really popular brand, OCBs.
They're getting popular here in my area now. Recently, OCBs hemp.
When I
right?
started OCB's been around for a long time. When I started to convert this, it had a bit of a strange odor to it as it was being heated. Also, there was a ton of fat and lipids in there, so it had never been winterized, which is an important step because you need to remove the fats, right? First, so you need to mix it with alcohol, put it in the freezer, then separate the fat from the oil, then remove the alcohol, and then your oil is really great for pens. But that wasn't done. But what it turned out was that this had been made with product that had been trimmed mechanically, which required the use of a lubricant on the cutting wheel, the cutting blades, to keep them from getting too gummed up. Because when you're trimming, right, there's a lot of hash. Like you see it on your fingers and your scissors.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine running 50 pounds of that, how much gunk you end up with, right?
Yeah.
They have to continuously work the blades on these trimmers so that it still cuts properly. So there are products that are made specifically for this. One is called Clear Cut, and that's made with 100% hemp seed oil. And a lot of guys use PAM cooking spray. But the problem is that this product ends up on your trim in very minute amounts. But when you start turning that trim into a concentrate, you're actually also taking this from the plant. And it doesn't taste good. It doesn't look good. So when we found out the truth about it, when I was able to figure out what the problem was, you can't. It was an illicit transaction. Where do we go to get the money back? Right. The only leverage that we had was this guy did all the shopping at that store for his own grow, for everything. So, you know what I mean? He had two options: give us back the money, or don't shop here anymore. And for him, it didn't make any sense not to shop there anymore. So we were able to settle it. But I got beat. You know what I mean? And that's how difficult it can be. Even if somebody who's experienced and knowledgeable can make mistakes like that, because there are just some things you can't tell until you get into it, right? So it's very, very difficult when you're dealing on the street level to ensure that you're getting what's correct.
Yeah. So now my question is, and I know we got a commercial to do, and I don't know what your plan is. You probably got to get going.
I'll stick around until 12:30.
All right. So my next question is what are they doing so that it's bad? You know what I mean? Like, why is it not right? What's going wrong to make their situation bad? You know, like what? Or how are they cheating the system? Or what are they doing to make this? And what am I actually smoking when I make that mistake and I purchase shit?
Well, one reason
because last year I went to the to this different festival, and I bought an ounce of dabs for $125. I smoked about a quarter, maybe a little more than a half of it. About half of it, and I said, you know what? My good friend at the time was out. He was in need. He had no sight of any coming in near future, no finances coming in. They were in a bad place. I said, I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to ship this to you in the mail, and you're going to get it. Enjoy. I gave it away because it wasn't right. Something wasn't great. I mean, it would get you high, but there was something not right about it, and so that's what I'm afraid of when I go and I see this other friend. Not that, I can just say, no, I'm not, but you know, that's going to be the same situation. It's going to be something like that I want, but I don't want to spend $700 to go to the goddamn concert to get a couple, and then have people wanted to share my stuff, you know, like I'm like, no, I'm not going to give you a whole, you know, these people are going to go there, and I don't know. It's going to be.
I mean, realistically, the best thing to do if you're in that situation is go to a state where it's legal. So if you border, like you border on New York, you border on New Jersey, right? I don't know how far it is for you, but that's what I would do.
Just throw a rock over either border.
Yeah, so
not really,
you know
but
what
I
I mean?
mean, I'm within 20 minutes of either border, New York
Yeah, so
or.
it's legal in those jurisdictions, so go
Yeah, but then I'm going to them. I mean, what to the dispensaries? Curly Kel pays the same price as I do in New York.
Then learn to do it yourself and hook yourself up with somebody who's cultivating, because that's
Dr.
that's the
High,
way
I
you can
think
be
you need to go
100%.
back into business, Dr. High.
You know what I mean?
You need to go
That's-
back into business, Dr. High.
Well, I'm in the wrong country for you anyway. But
fucking country.
That's really the only way you can be 100% sure that what you're doing is right is doing it yourself. Anyway, outside of that, you got faith into somebody.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like in this business that we're in now, we're going to come across people who are doing it the appropriate way, right?
Yes. There are people who have ethics and standards and passion for cannabis. But there are also people that don't have ethics, no standards, and have a passion for money.
Right.
And those ones are the ones who will screw you every time. If you can find a guy who is really like passionate about cannabis, like somebody like I am, right? Like I really care about the plant. I care about the product. I care about the quality. I would not produce something that wasn't right. Number one, because I don't think it's correct, because I don't think cannabis is something you should fuck around with. It's not something you should cut, adulterate, or do anything to. Secondly, I care about my reputation. You know what I mean? So it's my own belief system that would not allow me to present a product to somebody that wasn't absolutely proper. And if you can find somebody like that, then you can probably feel pretty good about what they're doing, especially if it's somebody who will allow you to come and witness them do the process, right? If you found a local guy who was doing his thing and you developed a relationship and you could say, hey, you know what? I'm so curious. Can I come and watch what you do? Can I learn? Can I see it?
But and in a state here like mine, it's only medical, so really there's nobody doing that, right? I mean,
nobody doing it openly anyway.
Right, nobody that's going to say, "Yeah, come on over and check it out." Yeah.
Well, unless you have an established relationship.
Right. I mean, hey, anybody in Poconos that's doing this and you don't want to tell me right now, hit me up privately. I'd love to come by and check it out and see what you're doing.
But really, like, this is how I got into the manufacturing side of it, because I was shown cut for shatter. And then I experienced with some shatter I purchased had cut in it, had a sugar in there. And that's when I said, that's it. I'm finished. I will never buy this from somebody else again. I'll learn how to make it. And that's what I did. I learned how. I started small and simple, open blasting, like we talked about with that fellow last week.
Butane.
Butane, the tube.
Yeah.
I started there because I was not going to be screwed by somebody. I wasn't going to be cheated.
Well, that's where I'm at. I mean, that's where I'm at. I can't afford this dispensary bullshit anymore. I can't afford, I mean, I want to be able to have the choice that I want to be able to have dabs. I want to be able to have, a pen, a cartridge, or I want to be able to have flour. So,
and the variety is good because that's one way that you can combat tolerance.
That's what I do. That's how I do it. I try to go a month, I go a month on flour, then I go a month on carts, then I go a month on dabs, and I go back, around.
You can change it every day.
Oh
You
no,
can-
I've done that too. And then I do sometimes if I have them all, I'll be like 1, 2, 3. And, I call it the trifecta. I do a little dabs, a little cart, and a little, and that's my hit before I go on the show or whatever.
Yep. So Nick bought his first vape pen last week. How you like it so far, Nick?
Yeah,
Do you
but
find-
Nick got it from a gas station. We already discussed this. Yeah, he's smoking kerosene and gasoline.
Well, we don't know what it is, but
Right. Yeah. I mean, I hope it's getting you high and not killing you.
what state is he in? Is he in a legal state or an
Texas.
illegal state?
Texas.
So Texas is medical, but not recreational.
Yeah.
But Texas,
I worry for. I only say this stuff because I worry. Oh, a smoke shop, but still, it's. I mean, smoke shops the same shit. They just unless you got it from some no, it's a smoke shop. I mean, you don't know. You don't know. And like I was just saying, I only say this because I care about you guys and I don't want nobody to get sick. I give this speech to my children, the same speech to my children every day. Make sure if you want a cart, first off, you can both get your own card because you're related to me, so you're both nuts.
I mean, we're not talking about paint you put on your house or carpet on the floor or tile or anything like that, which you don't ever put in your mouth or into your body. What we're talking about, the products we're talking about, are consumable products. They're products that go inside of you, whether it's from smoking it, eating it, no matter how you ingest it, it becomes a part of your physiology.
For the rest of your
you
life.
don't put anything inside of you like that you're not sure what it is.
I mean, we've all done it. We've all done it, and we'll still do it. I mean, I've picked up that worm and ate it out of the puddle as a teenager, showing off to my friends, But, now that I know and I'm older and I learn more and more from this fella over here, wherever the hell he is, I always feel like I'm pointing the wrong way. Everybody says I'm pointing the wrong way. You're over here.
That's what they say. Wisdom comes with age, right?
Right. As I'm getting older and as you and I talk and I learn more and more, I mean, it's just so much shit that I don't even know that I'm still a teenager who knows everything, I think. Mentally, maybe that's it. Mississippi. I figured it all out. I'm still a teenager who knows everything.
That's it. Still a teenager in a grown man's body.
Right. It's 421 here now. It's 421, but yeah.
Like it's really it's up to you as the consumer of the product to be vigilant about the products that you're purchasing. You know what I mean? To ask questions, to educate yourself. It's really important that you do that, because if somebody just came up to you and handed you a pill, would you take it? Oh, here, take this pill. What is it? I don't know.
When I was 18 or 17 or 16, maybe.
You never know.
It was a little crazier back then. But, now, no.
Yeah, I
don't even want the pills that the goddamn doctor's giving me. I'm like, no. She's like, no, you got to take baby aspirin for your heart. I'm like, no. Pills.
Think about it like Prohibition, right? Bathtub rum. And I mean, they were making booze back during Prohibition that made people sick. They were using alcohol that should not be consumed. They were doing things like that. And right now, cannabis is in prohibition in a lot of places. It's not yet open and legal. So when something is prohibited, then you just don't know what people are doing, right? It's really hard to fuck with flour. To some extent. I mean, you can spray stuff on there, and we do hear of it happening from time to time. But when it comes to concentrates and
he's enjoying it. Nick says he is enjoying it, and he still has it.
Okay.
He says
as long as it's working,
about a year.
Okay.
He might be a little.
The last thing he said it's going to last you about a year.
Yeah. All right. See, this is what I'm saying. Nick. Oh my goodness.
Listen, let me tell you something. My wife went through a 3-gram distillate pen in 5 days.
Yeah.
I was like last night, I was like mind blown.
I go through a gram a day easy if I wanted to. Easy. Just walking around with it in my hand or in my pocket. I leave it in here now, and I get up and I leave and I go out because if I had it with me but besides my kids walking by and seeing it and picking up and say, "Oh, I'll just take a hit. I'll be back." I'm like,
Yeah.
put the fucking thing down, you sons of bitches. That's mine.
So,
but yours is
Mr.
so
Slow,
good.
what have you tried from that conglomeration of goodies that you've gotten?
He's
And
getting it
how
this
has the
week.
experience been?
He's
Well, you
getting it.
ordered online?
No. He had to wait to get paid. He met the guy. He found out about it. Now he's just going to wait to get paid this week, and then he's going to make his.
May I ask? You don't have to be detailed, but how did you meet the guy? How did you obtain this contact?
They used to. I got the story. I think that they were friends a long time ago when they were in elementary school, or he ran into a friend of his from a long time ago in elementary school, and they were bullshitting. And some other guy was there as well, and he said, "I can get that, and I can get that."
See, chances are, if you're going to a guy's house to get things, or you're dealing face to face with somebody you knew, even if you haven't known him for 20 years.
Yeah, but then this guy is like, you don't get to talk to him kind of guy. You just give him the money, you get what you get, and you're out. Don't fucking talk to him kind of
Well,
guy.
that might be the culture in the UK. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The culture is probably like that, you know.
And the UK is the worst because
very
everywhere.
Very illegal there. Very
like,
illegal.
I think that's the worst country in the world for surveilling its citizens. I mean, everywhere are cameras. Everywhere. Every public street, every street corner, all over the place. There are cameras everywhere. It's how they do a lot of their police dispatching in the UK. They have a room full of monitors that they have dispatchers in that are watching what's going on, and they're dispatching the police from there. So, if cannabis is illegal, which we know that it is there, then the likelihood is that people are very low key about how they're doing their business, right? So as not to attract attention or to be actually observed while they're doing what they're doing. So, but yeah, as long as it's somebody you've known for a long time, somebody that you can find, and that's always an important aspect, right? People are less likely to screw with you if they know that you can find them. Right?
Right.
That's the psychology.
If they can get away with it one time, never going to see this guy again, and I'm going to rip your ass off.
Full shot, right? But if you got to do it like that, so oh no, what? Yeah, millions of cameras. I know. I see the shows. What's the Facebook user saying? Oh no,
oh no,
oh, it's Mr. Bill.
Oh no, Mr. Bill. All right. Well, now it's 12:26, and my bladder is ready to explode. The air
That's good.
conditioner's on. I want to thank you so much for another fantastic show. I had a ton of fun today.
Pleasure as always.
We learned a lot. We'll probably learn the same stuff again in another day or two, but it's okay because there's going to be new people who need to learn this shit. A big shout out to all my sponsors. Thank you guys so very much for everything you do, making this paying for this StreamYard too. They pay for this too, my sponsors. So I don't pay anything now. It's official. The radio station is completely covered now to either upgrade or move on. But anyway, I want to thank everybody out there on Live 365 and tune in, and of course everybody that's been in and out over here on YouTube and Facebook for a wonderful day. Thank you. Let's get back to the music. Dr. High, you have a fantastic day.
You too. Thank you very much.
Want to say? You say what you got to say. Tell them.
Yeah, all of you out there that spend time with us, you gays, have a good day, gays. Well, thank you very much. I think the U and the A must be too close together. That or you're trying to send us a message, my friend. I don't know which one it is. But yeah, I mean, take some time. Think about things about cannabis that you're curious about, that you'd like to know, those questions that you have. Bring them to the table when we're here doing the show. Toss them into the comments and let's start conversations about that. Or even things that you think other people might be interested in, because the questions that you pose, the answers are beneficial to all.
Everybody.
Right?
Right. That's why I keep asking the same questions, because some
there
of these
is no stupid question. There is never a stupid question, because especially with the topic that we're dealing with, we're talking about consumable products come into your body that affect you on a physical level. And it's really important that people understand what they're doing and the ins and outs of it. And it's absolutely a pleasure to help guide through the process and to make you a better consumer in both customer sense and as a user.
Financially,
You know what I mean?
physically, mentally.
Yeah, all of it. I mean, we can do a lot here to help you save money, get the best product, get the best value. A lot of things we can do. So thank you, Nick. I really appreciate that. Such a pleasure. Mr. Slow, great having you here with us today. All of you out there,
Absolutely,
thank
guys.
you so
You
much.
guys are amazing. You guys out there on Live 365 and tune in. The Fungi is coming up, so he'll be coming up in a couple seconds. Until then, I'll be back this afternoon, 4 o'clock on the East Coast, 3 Mountain, 3 Central, 2 Mountain, 1 Pacific.
And
Until
hopefully
tomorrow.
Lori's feeling better with her migraine.
Yes, Lori, feel better, sweetie. I'll check on her in the back room when I go on.
And whoever was the Facebook user that was talking about the seizures and the CBD, please reach out to me privately if you prefer. And I'm more than happy to take some time and try and work through that with you to figure it out. So, and that's about it. Nothing more to say.
Nope, I'm good. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. on the East Coast, 9, 8, 7 a.m. on the West Coast. Thank you guys so very much. Make sure you click that like button, that share button, that subscribe button, that other button, the other one over there, whatever button you need. I don't know what the buttons are. I appreciate and love you all. Thank you.
Peace, everybody.
Peace.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see you later, bud.